give you a little cheers to get started.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for
Thanks
doing
for the
this.
water. No problem. I had one of those small energy drinks, and then I cracked this open.
So now you just got like 600 milligrams of caffeine,
Yeah.
ready to really roll.
Let's see how it goes before I get a massive headache because I took in too much caffeine, you know?
Yeah, there's like a prime time of where you peak caffeine consumption.
I'm about here, but
once it goes downhill, it hurts.
The fall is the worst.
Understandable. Well, Chris Dula, man of many talents, endeavors, and adventures.
Yeah.
Stuff, all the same. I think kind of the best way to get this kind of going is what you're kind of into doing now with general contracting and building and all that. That's your most recent thing. I think that's a pretty interesting thing as it collides.
It's a nice little hobby.
Yeah, it's a nice little fun hobby.
Yeah,
something to do.
It's a nice little hobby, something to do.
You want to start with kind of explaining how you got into it?
Yeah, I basically I had a guy. Well, the whole building thing when I was in the Atlanta metro area. There was a guy named Derek who brought a carpet cleaning machine over to the house, and he was trying to figure out how to cut it on because he said, "Oh, I got a gig with this company, and they, pay X, Y, and Z or something like that." And so it took us 2 hours to figure out how to cut the thing on, or we knew how to cut it on. You plug it in, but it had a heater core in it, and we didn't know how to.
How do you actually get
it
running? Yeah.
So we did that. I went and worked with him a little bit. Initially, I was working with kids, and we got into this whole building thing, and so it's been kind of a build up to from the beginning, doing different things, learning different things. I mean, starting with installing a light fixture or a blind or something like that, and it kind of just builds up to this. And I think I'm at a precipice of let's try to move this thing forward, but kind of like it. A lot of people, they go to work. I kind of go to work, but the thing about it is I do stuff that's actually fun. I find it exciting, and I'm not one of those people that try to be any type of financial millionaire or anything like that. I think there's a level of comfort that you need to have in life. So that's
just been able to find a balance of what you want, the lifestyle that you are comfortable with what you're doing, not worried about.
Yeah.
Don't have a bill hanging over your head, don't have rent due, but not trying to buy the next Lamborghini coming out. It ain't
no inclination to do that.
Yeah.
As long as most people in my life are taken care of,
happy.
Nothing I can do.
Yeah.
That's to me. That's the part of life that I think that's important. At 48, 49 is just finding a balance. There's this thing called work-life balance, so I don't really care about that. My thing is find a balance within yourself.
Yeah.
Because the way I grew up in a lot of chaos. And when you grow up in chaos, you understand you have what's called a switch. Somebody can turn it on or somebody can turn it off. So I spent a lot of time trying to move myself into understanding the switch, and then finding a way to have some type of self-control, which that's an everyday process. That's not a
one and done.
It's not like a one and done. Because one thing about me is that I try to be a person of vibration. So if you come at me in a sense of kindness and good and I can kind of feel it. And so I feel it and I try to give it back.
Yeah.
But if you come at me as Mr. Asshole, well, my switch says I'm about to give that back to you.
Yeah.
And so it takes a while to kind of get a grasp of the good and bad of this approach that I'm trying to work on. Because it's a battle, and it's a battle I'll probably do until the day I die, because there's just some things that some people's been exposed to that just they have to work on. So every day I'm working on something. Every day, Jamie talks about we're kind of on different pages with stuff, but I do meditation now. So I sit and I think. I listen to different types of frequencies, binaural beats, tones.
Okay.
I listen to Tibetan bowls. Some of these things.
Yeah.
I play it in the house so that there's good energy, good stuff flowing. And one of the things about even driving, when somebody cuts you off, you want to say, "Well, that asshole."
Yeah.
But I'm working on. I've said I'm working. It's saying, I hope he makes it to his destination safely.
Yeah.
That's one of the hardest things to do in driving is somebody cuts you off, or North Carolina drivers are notorious for driving in the left lane, and it just kind of aggravates you.
Just taking up space and can't get around them. Can't go.
I hope he makes it his destination.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it while I'm gritting my teeth. So I'm working on not gritting my teeth.
It's like half the battle. It's halfway. So I'm saying, but man, it's hurting.
It's a process.
Yes.
It's a process. So that's what I've been working on.
Did you do like guided meditation through it, or are you just kind of like listening to sound and like taking it, like reflection, or like what's kind of the process?
I started with first, of course, I'm going to research pretty much everything. There's this thing of going down rabbit holes, and I'm big on going down rabbit holes. When I start, what's this binaural beat situation?
Yeah.
So of course now with AI and things like that, and by the way, I suggest everybody use AI at least twice a day to ask general questions.
Mm-hmm.
So going down this rabbit hole about binaural beats, gamma, theta, delta type states of mind, or things that you can put your brain into, trying to sync your brain together, so that it works, so your brain works together. But I started, with binaural beats, and then of course I'm asking, and I heard something about this thing called a gateway experience, which of course YouTube, this rabbit hole I'm gonna go down. The CIA knew about this gateway experience with this guy, so now I'm going down that, and then so
you're gonna get to like MK Ultra and like fun.
So I started thinking about this stuff and doing it, and I thought that something to help me, because like I said, when you walk around, you watch the Avengers where the Hulk or David Banner said, "That's just it. I'm always angry." He said, I need you to get angry. And he's saying, that's just it. I'm always angry.
Yeah.
He's trying to control that more than he is trying to, as far as get angry. So it's just something that led me down a path of just finding different things. And the gateway experience was one of those things. Of course, if the CIA is trying to study it and it's declassified, I'm going to try something out. I mean, it's kind of like talking to goats or whatever it is, but I'm going to try it out. So I tried it out, and I noticed in the first couple of sessions, because there's this like orientation session that you go through, you can hear the white noise, you can hear the binaural beats, and basically there's this playing in this year or that year, and he talks you through it to say, okay, now we're going to start relaxing. Relax your forehead, your eyes, your lashes, your nose, everything. And then you put yourself into a state of just, can I feel myself? Yeah. Or am I asleep? Or am I awake? And I've been working on that probably about 1.5 years now. So I do that every now and then. And it really has helped, because when you come out of your meditation state, you have this calmness about you.
Yeah.
And so that has helped. It's helped not only mentally but physically, because physically, with your blood pressure high and things like that, you learn to just,
well, you get a lot of stress from the day that you're not even thinking about.
I mean, it's not like, I don't want to say it's like smoking weed, but it's like, it's
relaxing a little bit.
You relax a little bit, but it actually works, because like I said, I think a lot of things that we do with each other are really mental. And that's the kind of space that we live in, is mental. And that's just, it's important for me, because again, you go through this chaos of life, and then you realize that when you get out of what's called survival mode in yourself, you realize, one, what you can do, how intelligent you are, and how to kind of proceed forward. But now I'm at a point that, because I've experienced certain things, not for my kids to experience the same things, but you guys need to be able to experience some things with some twists and caveats, because you know, you got to have some type of strain on your life in order to get better.
Yeah.
And without that strain,
there's no push.
There's no push.
Yeah.
You know, I can't give a direct quote, but some of the things of, you know, some kind of story goes to the line of the parents work to get the money, the kids spend the money, and then your grandkids is what takes the whole family broke.
Yeah, so, the like classic like
right.
rich men make easy times, and then easy times make soft men, soft men make hard times, and so some effect.
Right, and so the circle goes on, and so even when I see some of you guys struggle, you know, you want to step in, I kind of go, well, I'm just going to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because this is part of the game. This is part of the life, because we're here for this stuff. We're here for these problems and learn how to solve them.
Yeah. I think it's also now like the struggles are different.
Yeah.
In a very big sense. Of like, it's not so much life and death struggles dealing with.
Yep.
So it's not as needed to have a place to step in. It's not needed like the guardrails that they're there, but it's not like you don't need to raise them in the bowling alley every single time.
Correct.
Like, otherwise, you're just going to kind of be coddled.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
You don't need it. So,
right.
But I imagine it's also hard to find the balance of I want my kids and the people around me to do better than I had, but how do I not? You know, I can't hold their hand and walk with them. Like,
correct. Yeah. I'm big on you guys. I'm big on the men about this, because that's my experience. I don't have any experience as a woman. Yeah. My experience as a man is, again, if I didn't go through some of these things, where would I be? One, just mentally right now. I mean, understand, growing up, I don't say my whole childhood was chaos. I really enjoyed my family and the surroundings, and although you realize how you don't realize how poor you are, but you got your folks there.
You got 800 people in your family, so you got quite a few.
So there's quite a bit, you know, to hang out with and kind of enjoy. But you know, it's literally when your measurement of existence is here. I mean, all you have is to go up. There is no, my dad is a astronaut and I got to meet that. No, we're gonna start here. My dad was a furniture worker, manufactured textiles. I believe he made $8.30 an hour. And I'm not knocking him for it, because it was a different time, different inflation, different rates, whatnot. But I do remember him saying, "You guys just have to be better than me." That was it. Yeah. He didn't give us a map to do it. You know, he passed away early for us to try to map it out ourselves. But that's what I strive with all of you guys. So I try to hit you guys with, now, here's the bar. I need you guys to meet or exceed that bar. In every step, that when you guys have children or you guys have nieces and nephews, that you strive to get them to exceed that bar. But understand, my bar started
at
pretty survival mode.
At sea level.
Yeah, pretty survival mode. Yeah. And I think I've probably multiplied that bar about 10 or 20.
Quite a few. Yeah. I think that's an inevitable progression you want every time of, I want to see my kids do better than I did. Right. And I think that's the only goal. That not have some brat. Right. You know,
it's the only goal of a parent, especially a father. For instance, a little bit of current news of Rob Reiner's son being, he felt he was so entitled that he went in and caused some massive harm to his parents. My question is, just breaking it down, what was his real struggle? When your parents is kind of giving you some things, and I don't know, I'm not in their household, because there's ways you can teach your kids to still find a meaning in life of some type of struggle without literally not having the lights on in the house. There's still a way you can do it.
Yeah.
But that's some of the things that you find fear in with what's going on with the way the current state of being is now. Is that what can you do to your kids to have them understand the struggle without telling them, have them experience, but they become stronger than you? Because one thing about a man, and again, I don't have experience as a woman, one thing about as a man is when we have our sons, we want all of you guys to one day beat us in something.
Yeah.
Because we don't want the other guy to beat us. We want to find a way for you guys to beat us in something. I don't care if it's basketball. I don't care if we playing Madden.
Yeah.
We don't like you. We won't tell you about it. But we need you to beat us in something. That way, because as far as a father, you'll realize this even with your dad, with Mark. And he can probably vouch for this, but there's only one man in the world that wants you to be better than him. Only one.
Yeah, yeah.
It's only one.
Yeah.
Everybody else wants to compete with you. Everybody else wants to
age you out some way.
Yeah, right. Only one man in this world wants you to be better than him.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow out here in the real world.
Yeah.
So you gotta take some of that with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to that. I think that's it really is. I mean, your dad's the only one that's going to be absolute 100% in on wanting you to just succeed in probably all aspects, really.
Yeah, in all aspects.
I mean, one's kind of like the we're shooting at a low target there,
right?
But really, it's to take it. Hope for them to be a better parent, career, whatever,
right.
All around, well-rounded. I think
Yep.
that's part. One thing I do think, I'd be curious to hear your perspective on it. For the struggle aspect, I think sports for guys specifically. Once again, I'm going to say the same thing. I can't speak to the other side. I don't know.
I got you.
But I think sports is something where a lot of that comes out. Kind of talking with some of the people, a lot of people play with. You go play basketball. I'm not exactly stereotypical basketball player.
Right. But don't forget you beat me in it.
Yeah. I can play.
You were scared.
But where'd that come from? You go out and you played in a lot of places that probably wouldn't go otherwise. You play with people that are better than you. You worst on the team. You get the best on the team. You go back to worst. It's a constant evolving process of getting beat down and built up. I think that's one way it just kind of naturally comes out versus having found scraps for food or whatever. But I think people that aren't exposed to that, it's just like a different, especially when you're forced to. When you're forced to, you're not leaving the team, so you got to play the rest of the season whether you suck for next 3 months, 4 months, whatever it is. You're just gonna have to go there and suck. So you can either go there and suck, or you can try to get better. It's just like.
Well, you can sum it up by putting it in the words of Ric Flair. To be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah.
That right there, for me and a lot of people in my generation, that's what got us through. This situation, because you're not gonna win every time, and participation trophies, I'm out of that. I don't do participation.
Never been a fan.
I'm not a fan. I believe in, even if you come in second, some people, it's okay. It is okay. Today, tomorrow, I'd like to see you come in first.
Yeah.
I'd like to see you keep striving. And even if you don't come in first, did you put your best foot forward as a man in doing stuff? So I'm all about being battle tested of different things, because But to the level of the young man, because everybody's not built the same.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, I run with a high level of constant aggression and testosterone. It's just how I drive. I love it, but it's that competition. It's what gives me the edge. It's that superiority complex that kicks in, that I must compete at all times. But then I realize, you know what? I am 48, dude.
I should probably not be.
Yeah. I'm that guy that now jumps off the back of the truck and my knee.
Everything's buckling up.
Yes.
Locking down.
It's like, I need that sissy bar to get on the truck and help me get off.
Need the little drop.
Yeah, I need to drop down. Thank God Ford come up with the little pull out drop down step, so it works with me, you know.
Yeah, but, helping you out. Did a lot of that having kind of that complex and kind of aggression, like aggressive drive, help with like you playing sport, like because played football? Was that really honed like in there?
It was that in my environment. I grew up in an environment where, like I said, we didn't have the best financial means, but there was always competition and love. There was always support. It was not a put each other down type thing. If one person played football, one person played baseball, we encouraged each other, you know. And it was just one of those things that I want to say is kind of ingrained. Yeah. But I think everybody has in their DNA. It's just when are you going to unlock it? You know, like that cartoon. What is that? Something about Hotel Transylvania or something like that. I always tell you know, my kids, well, your fangs will drop sometime. I need your fangs to drop. I need you to get that in you, and you know, it's you
need kind of that kill switch. So like, I'm the best person out here.
Yes.
It doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily matter if it's true or not, but
it doesn't matter.
If you can at least kind of hit that that curve,
right,
it unlocks.
Right.
I mean, it's different.
And I was raised, if a man can do it, you can do it because you're a man. It doesn't matter what your color is or your socioeconomic status is or whatever. You can actually do it because if the bar is a man, you've already hit that. Now, what can you do with that? So that was just this complex was just ingrained, and as I went on and did different things in life, it stays ingrained, and that's something that I want you guys to really get a grasp of, is that if a man can do it, you can do it. There's nothing you can't do. You only just limit yourself in what you want to do.
Yeah.
And that's a part of, you know, the video I sent you, and just talking about that it really is just a mind trick. The whole entire thing is all about a mind trick, because anything you put thought to, you literally can do it. Especially if it's been done before, you just put thought to it.
Yeah.
For instance, if you want to build a house, it starts with a thought. It starts with the excitement.
Yeah.
And when you're excited about something, you tend to just make it happen. You know, when you guys got this house, or when you got a car, or when you got married, or anything else, it was because there was a level of excitement to it.
Yeah.
Because you can easily say, hey, we're going to build a shed, but if you're not excited to do it, you're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
So when you start with the thought, that's why I said most of this stuff is just a mind game to yourself. I now can look at a house and go, wow, I did that. There's no fucking way I did that.
Yeah.
There's no way I did that. But it came down to how excited I was about it. So I approach things that I want to do with excitement.
Yeah.
And when I get excited, I feel I can get you excited. And when I get you excited, now we're vibrating off each other. We're now on the same frequency, because now I got him excited.
Now it's moving.
Now, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Everything starts moving. And that's why I think that that's something that people have to pay more attention to. It's not what you can't do. It's what do you just want to put your mind to do. And my mother was always a proponent of, you can do all these things. I grew up, although sports was important, it wasn't the most important thing in my house. Sports was extracurricular. you make a C, you can go ahead and quit sports because you're not going. So academics was always important. Academics, education was always my mother's idea of what the key is to get beyond whatever status that we're in, was educating yourself. I've seen kids that were, 20 times better than me in football. I mean, by far. I could name 10 people that was like, there's no way I can outrun them. There's no way I can do this. But they had no focus on all the other things that make them a well-rounded person. Yeah. And I think that now, even the way college recruiting and things like that is set up, they're looking for the kid that is well-rounded, that's not going to come embarrass a program, that's going to come in and be a model person to what they have going on. Yeah. And it starts mentally. You can come from the worst of economic situations, but if you're mentally prepared for the game, your body will follow whatever it is you're doing. And there's a lot of kids that can't get a grasp of that out here. Kids.
Yeah, that's the saddest thing. You see it.
Can outrun me, probably lap me, but they're not. You don't understand. When I saw this Charles Barkley had said, he going and talks to different schools. He went into a lower socioeconomic school, maybe a Title I school, and he asked the kids who wants to be rappers, who wants to be basketball players, who wants to be producers. All of them raised their hand. Yeah. And so he goes into a predominantly white school, and he said, who wants to be rappers, who wants to be athletes? Nobody raises their hand. Who wants to be a doctor? Who wants to be a lawyer? Who wants to be a firefighter? Who wants to do things like that? And that's a mentality that has to change, not just with black folks, but with lower socioeconomic people. I mean, in my family, you get this big woo-hoo for sports. Yeah. I don't really care. Sports should go back, as far as my family, go back to this extracurricular thing. But what you do academically, not just academic, because sometimes it's a for-profit type situation, but we won't get into that. But it's about what do you do with the knowledge that you're getting. Yeah. As in, when you the Bible speaks about talents. And what are you doing with those talents? Are you hiding them? Are you putting them away? Or are you actually out there using them for you and your family's benefit? So I've learned that every time I go into a situation, the first thing I do is, how can I infiltrate? How can I infiltrate and see what they're doing? And this is one of the things I would hope you would do at some point in time, even with me. How can I infiltrate what Chris is doing? How can I, or any kids, how can I take what he's doing and make it better than him? Because again, that's the goal. Yeah. And one of the things about seeing I have such a big immediate family and extended family, I take all of you guys in as if, when I think about all of you guys, I think about where it doesn't have to be biological. Do I want them to be better than me? And so I start there. And I say, how can I make them better than me? It may piss you off.
You don't like everything I say.
You're just not going to like what I say.
It is what it is.
Yeah, man. That's all I can tell you. Yeah. But I'm trying to, I don't come at an approach to where I don't try to help you with a lesson learned or some type of way to get you beyond a certain point. One thing about running business and having business is that I could try to hand you guys things. Yeah. Or I can have you go out, because most people say, well, Chris is just an asshole. Okay, sure. So that's not a debate at this point. Yeah. That's not the debate. The debate is, well, the issue is that I can say, okay, well, I need you to go out and get a job, right? I need you to go out. I need you to do X, Y, and Z, work at Subway. Yeah. Because I want you to see that asshole. Then come back and say, is Chris really an asshole, or was he preparing me for that guy right there? Because you can get the Chris's emotion. You can get the Chris's centralization of of reason. But what about that guy over there? That guy is a problem. Yeah. So then you come back and say, well, actually, Chris really ain't that bad. I'm friends with some guys that I just don't want to work for. So all of this really, to me, is about learning and lessons and understanding, and everything I do really is in these things is really out of love and really out of caring, because I've learned, like I said before, I don't have to put y'all in situations where I was in. You're not in the military doing this, crawling. You're not jumping out of this or doing this, or you don't have to do it. But there's got to be some struggle that you give to your kids, to your offspring, to your extended family, to the young adults that are going to realize that, hey, he did something to touch my life at some point in time. And I hope that's the lesson that I would give everybody, is that, hey man, it ain't as bad as you think. Shit get real out here. So, excuse my language, but it gets real. It's National Geographic outside.
That's like the Nature is Metal. You ever seen those? It's like, well, my life's going pretty easy today. I'm not getting chased down by like a cheetah.
Right.
So, it could always be worse.
Yeah. It could be worse. It could be real worse. And if we mentally say to ourselves that even when it's bad for us, that we say, well, this could just be that life lesson that I'm asking for, that I need to get over this hump. That's why I can say with me, I've been able to mentally shift. I talk to my brother sometimes, and he says, Chris, you remember when such and such was a 10? I'm like, what? I don't even remember being there at all. I don't even remember that age. What are we talking about? Because he said, well, you block a lot of things out. And I started thinking, as I go through this meditation and sit down and reflect and introspect and stuff, is that I don't know if it's necessarily a block or that I'm shifting. I shift mentally, because we know as of right now everything in the world is happening, but you and I are sitting right here, right? So the issue is that we're focused on each other, but we have to understand there's other things going on, and that all we have to do is like a television, you turn the channel, and so when we shift our focus, I tend to forget the previous channel because did it serve what I needed to do, and then I've already went through that chapter and moved on. So I'm big on the mental aspect of shifting. Some people say multiverse or something like that. I mean, that's up to people on how they define things, but I believe that we have the ability to shift. So when you think something was bad for you, you gotta understand the universe, to me, kicks in to say this is just a learning lesson. And the ultimate experience of all of this really is the ultimate goal. And it goes back to the video I talked to you about, or I had sent to you. It goes back to love, because love is the heightened experience in this life, in this 3 life. Because if you can love people unconditionally, that is where you become such an enlightened person. That's why I say when I drive by somebody and he cuts me off, I hope he makes it his destination safely. Because I still have to show that person respect and love. But again, you grow up with a switch, and you have to be careful with that switch. I think the immediate people around me knows that, well, Chris has a switch. It just depends on what you're giving him is what he'll give back to you. So if you understand that, it, like I said, it's just all a mental game. It's all a mental game. I'm going to sit here and play with anybody, but it's really my mental game and what I
your perspective and how you're framing it. It's a lot. I think the kind of big part of that is like taking out of the hard and difficult and the unsuccessful almost times. The actual, it's kind of the biggest, normally the biggest blessing in disguise.
Correct.
Maybe not blessing, but biggest learning part is where you're actually going to grab what you need for the future. when it can absolutely suck in the time, or it can
Correct.
be terrible. It's miserable. It's
Right.
whatever, all the things. But that's when you actually learn. It's when you actually learn. It's when you're
Right.
going to take that and look back and be like, wow, if I didn't go through that then, maybe this moment would be terrible. Maybe if I
Right.
didn't get that key skill or learn the
Right.
new tech, whatever it is, I would be underwater right now.
Right.
Like, I mean, it was bad then, but it would be worse now. And I think that's a lot to it of if you don't think of kind of what is my perspective going. And it's
Right.
not easy in the moment.
Right.
It's not like, wow, I'm so grateful that I get to go through this. Like,
I'm so grateful that I
suck
this.
that I get to spend so much time on this and just bang my head against the wall right now.
Right.
But it does provide that. It provides that if you at least can be like, at one point, I'm going to be really glad that I know this now.
Mm-hmm.
At least some idea. Maybe it's the next week, you're looking in the future and it's like, wow, that was a terrible time, but I have this now stored with me.
Right.
And I think that's where it's kind of how you're talking of, like, I think of like a TV guide, and you got all the channels that you can flip through in your
Mm-hmm.
memory.
Yep.
And it's all right, I'm not going to think about this maybe right now, but I'll need to go back to channel 3,
Right.
Maybe next year or
Right.
next month, whatever.
Right.
I think that's, because it's the same way. I'm not going to be on channel 3 the whole
Right.
time.
Exactly.
I'm going to just
Right. And you gotta be careful of reruns.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't want reruns.
You don't want reruns. Like, I've already done this before. I didn't learn a lesson.
Yeah.
From this.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it that's where the meditation and the introspection comes in with the consciousness
Mm-hmm.
of realizing that, I mean, this entire world is what you make of it. If I walked in here to you today and I said, well, I'm just upset. It's 3:00. Da da da. Well, that's because I made it that way. You didn't make it that way.
Yeah.
I made it that way. There was nothing you did.
Yeah.
So it's about how, like I said, we're perceiving different
Mm-hmm.
things. And again, like I said, I don't want to repeat mistakes and things like that but also I do know without failures there would be no success because you have no standard of measurement.
Yeah.
Some people think their standard of measurement is success. Your standard of measurement is your failures.
Mm-hmm.
So out of the 10 things I failed on and the one thing that I succeed, some people may view me as that success when I know that my measurement has been the failures.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to make those better.
Yeah.
That to me is how I define myself. Someone asked me one time, well, what do you what is your measure of success? And at one point in my answer, my measure of success is at death. And at death, I have to ask whether whatever illness takes me immediately or slowly, or everybody's around and they crying and all this other stuff, and they say, oh well, you was a good father. Really? What? Remember when I pissed you off? You still okay with that?
Yeah.
Remember you just but that's part of that unconditional thing that I'm talking about when it comes to unconditional love, which really leads me into when you're dealing with a person, when you're dealing with conditional and unconditional love, because everything's about love and excitement.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's about the mind game that we sit and play with each other.
Yeah.
I sent Zach a message, and I talked to him about something, and then I mentioned, I saw a reel. I'm sorry, let me take that back. I saw a reel that said, we love our children unconditionally, but we love our spouse conditionally. But the thing about it is that I work on the conditional relationship, because good or bad, you're going to love your kids. Mm-hmm. The condition of being married is what's most important. Your children should never ever be more important than your significant other or spouse. Some people are like, oh no, my children are massively important. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Good or bad, your child win a game, you love them. Your child make an F, you love them. But if your spouse cheats on you, there's a condition that's going on there.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't have to work on loving your children. You have to work on loving your spouse because that's the true work. Yeah. So when your kids say, well, you don't love us, well, no, you just are aggravating me right now. We still love you. We don't care. You know, yeah. Another thing that I saw was that it was some type of maybe church convention or something like that, and a pastor asked the husband and wife to come up, and then said, now bring your children up. And so when the children came up, the husband and wife were like this, and the children came up, and you had the children like this. So here's the father, here's the mother, here's the two kids. And the pastor said, oh, we're a loving family. Now tell me what's wrong with this picture. The issue, well, I'm sorry, let me take that back. The children were like this, right? The children in between the parents.
Yeah.
That is where the issue comes in, right? Because once you have kids, you're now putting your kids in between you two. And what happens is that you have a child and the mom starts focusing on nurturing, the dad starts focusing on career and starts moving and bringing money in the house, make sure everybody's happy. And then after 20 years, when these kids go off to college, when these kids go do their thing, you have no idea who this person is. Yeah. They don't know each other.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of problems with people that still want to be together. So the real thing is that these two need to stay together and the kids really adjust on the outside. Because that's what's most important. Because when you guys go away, there's nobody there. And the wonderful thing is that you don't have to adult all the time. You can kind of just hang out with each other.
Yeah.
And realize what you were, like you and Keely, what you were before you guys started to have, a family. So I think that's important.
To not have that separation.
To not have that separation. Yeah. Because we can see that throughout our families and everything else. And it doesn't have to be biblically. It just has to be, you have to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, if there's never that checking in with each other, there's never the kind of the connecting part staying there. Because, I mean, life is challenging. Life is busy. Life is complicated.
Life is complicated.
When you have kids, it only, can't imagine yet, but it's only going to get more time consumed of, you go work for 8, 9, 10 hours a day and you come home, well, you're probably going to sleep 6 hours or something and you only have so many left in the day to actually parent, go do something, go meditate, go to the gym, go take care of yourself, let alone can talk to your spouse, talk to your children, talk.
And be interested in what they have to say.
Yeah, be there. I mean, be present. Trying to be present is a hard thing.
It's a hard thing.
I mean, that's just all. I don't know. Yeah. Some people probably have it easy. Yeah. Everyone's got their ups and downs. Being present is a very... I mean, you got to actually be able to listen and engage and talk to them.
Right.
It's a hard skill.
It's a hard skill.
I mean, it's not...
Yeah. It's an acquired skill. You just don't get it. Let me ask you a question. So, let's say you guys had a pool in the backyard. And you're in here doing something and your wife, and let's just say you have a son. And you go out there, your son was struggling in the water, and your wife jumps in to try to save him, and now the son's taking her down and she's struggling. And you go out and you happen to catch it. The question is, who would you save? You only can save one. And that is where it trips everybody up. Because everybody has a logic as to why they would save one or the other. But I now leave it to you to answer that question. Which one would you save? You only can save one.
Yeah. I would get Keely first.
Well, there's no first.
Yeah, I mean...
But you love your son unconditionally, right?
Yeah.
Your wife comes with conditions.
I don't know, it's always Mark always beat the pioneer spirit of you can have more kids. You can have another.
That's it.
So
you have more children.
Now that's brutal way of putting it.
I mean, it's brutal, but it is the truth.
Yeah.
Because together, you guys can mourn the loss of a child.
Yeah.
And you can find comfort with each other in that. And eventually, you can still have more children.
Move on and
go
through
life. If you lose your wife and save your son, you're there to comfort your son, yes. But who's there to comfort you?
Yeah.
Who's there that when he decides he's ready to go to Clemson and he's gone, are you going to have to start over? Because, again, children are gifts.
Yeah.
And you guys are free spirits. When you come in this world, you come with the spirit. And people have to realize that one day we have to allow those spirits to do their thing. They're going to have spirits. Just like when I was saying that you guys are going to have your own Christmas here.
Yeah.
Why are we not going to their house for Christmas? You got to have your own traditions, your own things, because you guys are now the unit. So it's a very hard thing. You get some mothers who are real nurturers. They're like, oh, no, my husband, he can go. I got to save my children. I mean, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. But that's a nurturing love of a mother. But ultimately speaking, you got to find a way to continue your life with that person. Yeah. But, things are so easy now. You can get a divorce and remarry 20 times if you really feel like it. But that ultimate...
That kind of ruins the whole point of it, though. Ruins that's not the one body and mind, soul. That's the whole point of... that's what makes the whole day special. The fact that really on that day there's some form of connection that's made in spirit and energy of you're standing in front of everyone and you are truly joining souls. There's something about it that you can't really describe to anyone. If you haven't experienced it, I can't. But there's something about that day where you truly will feel some sort of love that you've never felt before. Right. And if you're just going willy-nilly and just jumping and, divorcing and going through that, then there's not... It just... it beats down the whole point of... it's not... That's not the point of it. It's not the point of... There is something biblical to it and religious about it, whatever that is that you believe. Yeah. But every religion has their own part about it. That's why is what it is. It's It's not something to just take as like...
It's not a fly-by-night kind of just random stuff. No, there's a real connection there. Like you said, you're talking about. It's there.
There's something there to it that is special. Right. It is unique. That's why you would go into the burning building for them. You'd go into... Get them out of the deep end. Right. It's all of that. Right. That's the point.
Right. But here's your struggle. Your struggle is still conditional.
It's something you have to work on.
Something you have to work on.
It's a constant. The same way you deal with anger on the road or whatever. If you don't nurture it every day and work at it, then it's gonna fade. Yeah. It just will. Yeah. We all think about ourselves first. Just normally. Right. I would say that's how most of the world starts with. But you think about, all right, well, today I got to go to work. I got to do this. I got to do that. Your partner and whoever else, your wife, whatever it is, they have all that to do as well. So if you both just sit there and do your own, all right, let me go through my checklist for the day, and you don't ever meet up and join and have that time where you actually connect and talk about something, it's probably not go to. It's just, But I think part of that is finding a balance later on of having a family, having kids of, yes, they are a focal point, but you're kind of both there to help guide them. It's not so much as my life is in only them, and that's on my... They're a large part of it. They're the reflection of you, and they're what you're trying to pass on to the generation after you. But, at the end of the day, you're both there to kind of connect and kind of move for. I think about it kind of as like, I mean,
Right.
like a lever almost of like, you got to join and then move. Like,
Right.
you got to move the chips kind of along the way, and
Right.
hopefully they, don't. I mean, hopefully you're parenting that they don't crumble and fall, and you're doing all the things. But if you go at it separately, it's just not going to work too well.
Right.
I mean, you look at like celebrity families, like I think Schwarzenegger, like his kids, one with the mother, one with the dad, and both of them are kind of now like,
Right.
I mean, well off, but you kind of make like a where you can fall. It's like a pinball machine.
Right.
You got the center, but if you connect, you both move forward.
Now, mind you, I've experienced both.
Yeah.
I grew up with a single mother. I have children that grow up with a single mother. Yeah, I've had children that's grown up with a single father. But again, it goes back to growth. It goes back to the working on things.
Yeah.
And one thing about family is that family has to, if you're true family, they have to understand your shifts. You can say, well, you're focusing on your career, but you have to have that solid base of still understanding that you are a union with somebody. But that shifts. The hardest thing for people, many people outside of your family can accept, love, and respect your shifts. But the hardest people to understand your shifts is your own family. Because, for instance, if I say I'm going to change my life today and do this, well, you may have hurt somebody in your family previous, and they don't see your shift. They don't see things that happen when, and I think even biblically to an extent, Yeshua, people say Jesus, Yeshua, it was him who had said when he went back to his own town, they didn't recognize him. People misinterpret that, thinking that they didn't recognize his face. No, they didn't recognize his shift in his consciousness to say, I was a carpenter at this point in time, but now I have traveled the world. I have studied different things. And one thing that it comes back to is our Christos, our awakening, our enlightenment, our love that we have to have for one another, that we have to do for one another. No longer is an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. But it goes back to just this unconditional love. But it's hard for family to see that because sometimes, say for instance, you had a family that may have been on drugs, which, being on a considerable amount of drugs is more of a disease because it messes with you chemically. Well, what if they've done rehab? What if they've shifted? Mom might remember where they stole $20 out of their wallet. So mom is clutching that purse and locking it up. Yeah. But we have to give everybody the ability to shift. Yeah. So I hope you today at 23, I'd like to see you 10 years from now and what your shift is. I'd like to see all of your shift because I find that to be exciting because I think of it in a little bit more in depth than a lot of people see it. Who I was at 22, at 25 and 35 is not who I am today at 48. Yeah. Because we all shift. We all have to learn to grow, and we hope that the people that say they love us understand what that shift is. Yeah. Understand what it means to grow up. Because we as men, we really have to grow up. But legally, somewhere, somehow, somebody told us at 18 we're legally good to go. Yeah, ready to... Every person's different, and it's okay. Some kids are mentally capable of doing things and having a family and having a house, and some, I don't know if we should let them out of the house. Should they be back at 12 o'clock? Because there's a lot of things going on that they're just into. But I do believe in the shift. I do believe in letting people grow. Yeah. I love seeing kids grow. I was again talking with Jamie, and I said we can start out. You can start out with 0 kids, but even at 23 today, if you imagine at 23 where you'll be at 43, you might literally have 4 kids, maybe a grandchild. You have no clue whatsoever. Yeah. At 50, at 60, you have no clue of what where your shift is going to be. But then you do have to step back and go, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, my mind still has me at 18 years old sometimes. Like, again, jumping off the truck or trying to do a backflip in the yard. Yeah, okay, good luck with that. But the shift that you have, I would hope, and even in talking with you, I remember when you asked me, I think you were about to graduate high school.
Yeah.
And you said, we were out in the garage at Traveler's Rest, and you said, well, what was the military like?
Yeah.
And because you were thinking about going to the Navy, you was unsure.
Mm-hmm.
And so we talked, but I can sit here and say from then till now, the shift that I see, I find with you, with Keely, with everybody else, I find that to be one of the most amazing things of how people shift and turn. Because again, now I'm watching to a sense where when you have somebody that doesn't have to deal with survival mode, mm-hmm. and can stop and pay attention to what's going on, I find it to be the most astounding thing, the most astonishing thing. I'm not, some people have a measurement of success with money, mm-hmm. and I don't measure success with money at all.
Yep.
I measure success, to me, with love at this point. Mm-hmm. At one point in time, I measured success with money. I mean, I can't lie.
Yeah.
But I just don't.
Well, that's like the easiest trap to fall in.
Correct.
I mean, money, it's quantifiable. You can
mm-hmm.
see how much. You can compare the numbers. You can compare, oh, they bought this and
right.
they're living in this and
right.
whatnot. But, I mean, as you've probably seen from experience, mm-hmm. it's not really to tell all of what's going behind the scene. Mm-mm. They might have taken out a double mortgage to
correct.
go buy the new Chevy. They
right.
might, you know, maybe they are doing well.
Right.
Maybe, but their home life sucks. Maybe, you
right.
know, he's always away on work and he's never home.
Right.
You don't ever see the full picture
yep.
by wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the best way is there's a baseline. Mm-hmm. And how can you live your lifestyle
right.
happily? And I think that's the biggest financial, you know, mm-hmm. like burden to get to that point.
Right.
But once again, once you go kind of cross that point, it's
right.
It's really easy to just fall into keeping up with the Joneses.
Right.
Like it's
because you have to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't be sitting in the dark.
So no, you can't have to go to work.
Yeah, you got to make some money.
Yeah. It's not like you need to be, you know, out there just drawing paintings and hoping
right.
for the best and
right.
just living life.
Right.
It's definitely balanced
right.
to figuring out how much.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you only want to rent a studio apartment and your
right.
dreams to be an actor and that's what you love to do, then
mm-hmm.
you know, as long as you can take care of yourself and
yeah,
you know.
So here's my question to you: when is enough? One, and for two. This is the ultimate question I ask everybody. What is good money? Because in the country we say, oh, he makes good money. Well,
yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, good money. Good money is a complicated one today. Mm-hmm. Mostly right. because over the past 5 years, mm-hmm. inflation has skyrocketed. Yep. So when we're having this conversation now, it's an ever-moving target. I would say previously it's like 100 grand and you're chilling, like you're doing right. pretty well. But today it's like, I mean, 100 grand is good money, but it's not like, dang, you know, it's not a one parent working household. Like you both better be going to like,
right.
So I don't know. We've kind of thought like, how much would it take for one of us to stay home? Mm-hmm. Just like tossing around numbers. Mm-hmm. To me, it's almost like not like the 50 plus. It's like pretty hard to stay.
Right.
Now, granted, you can keep the lights on it. Like
right.
one person working at home and making. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying you have to make that to make. You just ask what good money
right.
is.
Well,
like
okay.
When I'm thinking good money, I'm thinking one person working, right. no one else. The other spouse stays home.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
So to me, somewhere around that ballpark would probably be like. The good money. Now the money to like get by.
Right.
I mean, you can be fine. Like you can be living. Like you ain't gonna be struggling to turn the lights on if you're bringing in like right. you know, $60,000. Like you're bringing in some money. Right. That's still That's still good money. Like,
right.
Like shit. Like, you know, it's not like you're not a bum. Like, dude.
Right.
I mean, if you make like 10 grand, you got a problem.
Right.
Like,
right.
You ain't making that off in a year that's going to be a struggle for you. There's a wide margin between there of where like survival, like
right.
It's not. I mean, there's survivable money. Like you at the bottom, and then you have a wide range that's like. I mean, you're fine.
Right.
Like you ain't gonna be. You know, don't be looking to buy a new car next year.
Right.
But like.
Right.
You're not gonna struggle to pay the. You can go pay the bills and go make it.
My idea of good money is not an actual number, because I think we all have a comfortable number of what we think we would be comfortable with. Mm-hmm. My idea of good money is this. One, kind of like what you're saying, the base of, can we afford the bills that we have currently sitting here, and can we have a little more to do a little extra of enjoyable life, whether it's a vacation, whether it's going to the movies or something like that. The issue is that it's hard to quantify, because a person on $50,000 with a family of 4 could actually live a happy life and have good money. Now the question is he financially literate? You have a degree in Clemson in finance, which means at some point in time you've studied the dollar sign. The issue is it boils down to how much money do you need to have to be comfortable. I find that with $50,000, and I'm actually putting a number on it, because a lot of people your age now at this point have this 6-figure number, but and there's nothing wrong with that 6-figure number, but I find that you have to find a way that you have a level of comfort to just do check boxes of what you have. Do you have electricity? Do you have food? Your kids have enough food? Do they have clothes on their back? Do you have transportation to go not only get the food, get back and forth to work or whatnot, and do you have a roof over your head?
Yeah.
Some people want a 3,000 square foot roof. Some people are okay with a 1,500 square foot roof. It really depends on what your goal is in finance. The only issue is that some people are not as financially literate to say they can come up with a number. But one thing that I've realized in failure and success, you can make $1 million, but if you have $999,999 worth of bills,
it ain't really solving no.
You haven't solved anything. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say, coming from meager beginnings and things like that, that humbled me to know that I have learned to turn to make $1 out of 15 cents. I understand what the true value of that dollar is, and then I realized that that dollar does not mean as much to me as it means to somebody else. True life and true enjoyment, laughing, enjoying, having something to drink, sit down, that is where I quantify my success in life. Because if you're intelligent enough and if you understand enough, you can master the dollar. There's nothing wrong with mastering the dollar. The issue is, can people master their life with the dollar that they have within the boundaries of what makes people happy. Some people say what makes them happy is that they're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Well, that's what makes them happy. I get it. But then I also look at what has the dollar done for mankind throughout history. The dollar throughout mankind in history has created oppression. It has created power struggles amongst people. It has created love and hate relationships in families. It has created all of these things that once you get an understanding of what that dollar is really doing, but then remove that dollar. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't go to work, because then I'm gonna call you lazy.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, find a particular number that you may have some growth with that as it goes, but find that number to where you now can come home and say, I'm happy. You now can come home and say, well, it's 5 o'clock, 5:30, or whether you have a passive income or something like that, where because you don't always have to have a job to have income.
Yeah.
But something that says, I now can come home and focus on what's truly, truly important. And when I was 22, when I was 23 year age, that's what I focused on. What could I do to maximize what I understand to make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time? Mm-hmm. Because going to business school and stuff like that, that's what we're taught, to maximize profits, whether it's for a business or whether it's for your house.
Yeah.
It's about maximizing profits. The only issue is that philosophy is inherently wrong. Because if you can sit down with a budget at $50,000 and you have 2 children and you have a wife, and you can find your way to map out happiness in $50,000, it really doesn't matter that it's $50,000. If you can find a way to save $20 and go on a vacation where you put gas in the car and drive up to the mountains, but your children remember the drive.
Yeah.
Your children don't remember the Range Rover.
Mm-hmm.
Your children don't remember the birthday party at 2 years old. Yeah. Where hopefully somebody's gotten me a beer, because we're just literally celebrating a 2-year-old's birthday who will never remember what's going on.
Yeah.
But it is the memory of the family, though, too.
Yeah.
That, to me, is the happiness. Mm-hmm. And that's where I start quantifying. And again, it's one of those easier said than done things, too. Mm-hmm. Because coming from a position of where everything is kind of okay right now, but I have another measurement. Yeah. The measurement is, I've slept in a car growing up in the 8th grade. Yeah. So when that's a measurement, money doesn't seem like it's a big thing once you've learned to master the dollar sign of it. And you realize, oh, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Because money, power, those have been so much control over whether we love. People have been killed over this thing called the dollar sign. Mm. People, mothers have lost sons in wars over this thing called the dollar sign. And once we all realize that you just have to find a way to get a hold of it and get a mastery of it, then keep that flow going consistent, then find a way to come back to the real purpose. The real purpose is loving your family and growing your family. But you, even with a master's degree, you literally can map out how many kids you should have or you shouldn't have. You have a point of saying, yeah, I cannot afford 10 children, right? So, but you work on that with your partner and say, this is what we can master and what we can't do. Because you guys are early in age. So I understand the hunger. One time I had the hunger. Oh, well, if I build X amount of houses, if I invest in this stock market here and do this, I know I can get this income and this income, or I get this degree and do this and that. All of that stuff is just man-made stuff.
I think there's a lot to that, though, of like kind of from what we started talking about, of that if you're not pushing to exceed your boundaries early on, you're not going to burn. You're not going to have those times where it's like, shit, I really need that $100.
Right.
Like, I really needed that to like work out.
Right.
And I think if you don't get those, if you're just kind of wishy-washy, or just kind of like, I'm just going to go through and do whatever, there's a lot of learning that you kind of miss out on that you wouldn't otherwise. I think to kind of connect that to what you're saying, though, but it is finding, it's not chasing the status.
Right.
I think that's not
exactly.
I think that's a lot of kind of what you're describing, of that, like the dollar leads to buying the Gucci and the the Louis Vuitton bag and the whatever, and that's not really going to do anything for, like, I'd say for 99% of the people, maybe the people in the C-suite that need to like go to the annual corporate party and really, make sure they are dressed to the nines and all that. Yeah, you might need to do that. But for the average person, that we're talking about.
Right.
It's not going to enhance your... I mean, maybe you'll have like a high for,
a couple
days. It's like, wow.
Yep.
That's a cool bag I got, or
right.
cool shoes, or whatever, whatever everyone's taste is.
Right.
But the long-termness, it doesn't really solve.
It doesn't.
It doesn't bring any. I think there's a lot. I think that's where it's the family unit's more important, as you're kind of saying, of what can we afford and what can we happily get by on,
right.
and finding that. Mm-hmm. I think that is a good thing to understand.
Right. Have you ever seen money solve mental health problems?
No. I'll say it enhances them, if anything.
Correct. You've never seen money solve mental health problems.
Yeah.
I think that some people can say, oh, I have $2 million in the account, but you missed your son's football game.
Yeah.
And you told him you was coming, and he looked for you.
Yeah.
He wasn't there. And you say, oh, well, son, later on, I'm going to have these things for you. And your son never cared.
Yeah.
He never cared about any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you find yourself my age or older or whatnot, you realized, again, what was the major importance of that. And if some of the young people can realize that, find your base, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Figure the base out. Then go back, once you have that base, go back and focus on the family unit as you move.
Mm-hmm.
I think children come out better. And I understand sometimes moms are there. Moms want to be home to nurture those kids. And then most of the dads are saying, this is what I need to make for mom to be home. Mom can still work. But again, it's easier said than done when you're at a young age.
Yeah.
But do not forget the family, because the family, to me, is what's going to be most important in this journey. Because when the two of you guys are sitting there looking at each other, and one of them's going off to Old Dominion, you're going to be like, what did we miss?
Mm-hmm.
What did we miss? You pull out a picture and you go, that's what we missed. I wasn't here for that.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. And I think, again, a little bit of financial literacy goes a long way when it comes to family. Now, if you don't have a family and you're single, I mean, swing for the stars.
You ain't got nothing to worry about.
You got nothing to worry about. Do whatever it is you do. Ball out Saturday.
Yeah.
Drink yourself to death, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, well, not to death, but I'm just saying drink away.
Yeah.
But when you combine that unit, when you find that person.
When you got other people that rely on you and other people that are counting.
Right.
You have a unit, it changes the story drastically from... I can go out and spend a couple $100 and just get, wasted on Saturday and whatever. Or I can stay out and go, or I can work a 16-hour day and I don't have anything.
Nothing to worry about.
I can go work, as long as I just want to work. I don't care if I, whatever. It opens up a lot of doors close. But I'd also argue a lot of doors never open for you if you stay in that lane. You'll never, you'll never experience what it is to have a family. You'll never experience what it's like to bond with, truly bond with someone. I'm sure you'll probably find interest throughout the way of people, but, it's not the same level.
It's not the same level,
And I think it's a big part of it.
Right.
The one thing I think is interesting that me and Kid have always talked about is that once we have kids, it's never been a discussion of like she'll be home. I think it's always much she needs her passion and her. Yeah. I think work is the general term for it.
What makes her whole?
What is her passion and what do you actually want to?
Right.
Whether that's doing something creative, something fun, whatever it is. I mean, certainly right now it's going to be work in some degree, but what is your passion to actually, you don't need to be going to a corporate office and working 9 to 5, but what's something you do on the side, kids aren't like and I think having that expectation versus just being, I'm going to only be at home. Right. And I think it's very, it's fortunate that people can do that, but I think, at the end of the day, when you come together, it's like, well, what are you going to talk about? Like, it's not, it's, it's not like, man, I was talking to this vendor today and he was telling me this shit, and it's like, all right. Yeah, sometimes it's annoying to hear about, but at the same time, it's it draws you together. It's telling a story about what you actually did today versus hearing about what little Timmy did.
Right.
Twice.
Right.
From little Timmy, and then Mom.
And that's why you have to move together.
Yeah.
The issue is that you can have a husband that can go and very intelligent out in the world, and Nat Geo as we call it, and then comes home and Mom and, like I said, little Jimmy wants to say, what happened today? Well, I learned my ABCs. Well, that's kind of great.
That conversation's not going too well.
That's wonderful. I can't really. But the issue is that you can't outgrow the person.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to put that kid in the bed at 8 o'clock. Do not be afraid, because if you're tired from your day, you got to get a second wind.
Mm-hmm.
And a second wind is not necessarily with your kids. The second wind is with your spouse at 8:05.
Yeah.
So that you guys can have that conversation, that time, to make sure that you guys are not outgrowing each other. You have to move step in step, because it may sound boring, but that's what was interesting to that person today.
Yeah.
And
Timmy's thrilled about his ABCs, but awesome, man.
I give a shit about Timmy's ABCs. I expect you to know your ABCs at this age, guy, or we got major problems.
Yeah.
But that's what's important. Timmy eventually is going to learn his ABCs. I don't care if he's 3 and I don't care if he's 5, but eventually Timmy will get it. At some point in time, he's going to get it. Just make sure you see him doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you give whatever you can to make it seem that you're that interested.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Timmy needs to be set aside.
Yeah.
Because I found that a lot of my experiences is because one or the other has put Timmy ahead of the interest of what you could do together. And together is where it just becomes the most beautifulest thing. That's why at what was it? After wedding reception, what was the day before?
Rehearsal.
We called it the rehearsal.
Yeah.
Well, I felt compelled to sit down. I actually sit down, and I said, every time I talk to you guys, I want to. You may say Chris is rambling. He's such a rambler. That I want to say, what can I give them that is lasting?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's going to come with emotion and things like that, and I say, okay, well, what can I give them that's logical? Something that they may take a piece of. I don't care if I talk for 10 minutes. What sentence did I give them? What sentence did I give everybody else to say? I need everybody to get out of the way. Let them do what they do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'd sit down. Some people say, oh, you just use ChatGPT. No, I didn't. I literally sit down. And I literally came up with, I got to give them something. Something that will last the test of time. That everybody else can understand. And that was one of the things that I felt compelled to do after knowing you guys for, some time now, was that I felt the best thing I could do for you guys was tell everybody else to get out of the way. And although we all may want to tell you what to do and be an influence in your life, but we have to understand that all we can give you is advice.
Yeah.
In my family, my mother used to say, I told you not to. I'm like, you didn't tell me shit. I don't need you to tell me anything. I'm a grown man. Stop acting like you telling me to do something.
Yeah.
That sparked a whole nother conversation. Side conversation. Let's start with the main battle. You didn't tell me shit. So it's about the advice. It's about giving each one of you guys something that you can find a way to navigate this world together and on your own. And I thought that was so important that I gave to you. And one of your buddies came, tell your dad thanks for the drinks, but one of your buddies came, sit down beside of me at the bar, and he said, Chris, I've never met you, but I swear I think you was talking to me. That did my heart good.
Yep.
The gentleman that got married 2 or so weeks after, you guys got married, he sat down.
Yeah.
We had a couple of drinks. He was like, I swear I think he was talking to me. I said, I hope that I was talking to everybody, because you guys are in such a wonderful position that we once was in, and we didn't have those. Well, I didn't have some of those people to give some of these things that will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
And so, remember when I said, what was the word I gave you when we had the conversation about when Keely is wrong or when Keely is right? It really doesn't matter. You know, you have to back her.
Yeah.
You know, and when you disagree in private. You do not disagree in public with your spouse, because you're supposed to have her back. Now, you know, well, 2 plus 2, that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. 2 plus 2 is 5.
Yeah, it's 5. And I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
It's going to be 5. But on the side, make sure. You know good and well 2 plus 2 is not 5. I'm going to check you on it.
Yeah.
I ain't even check her in front of people.
Yeah.
But again, Dylan, that's what's important, man. I find once you have that number, the good money, you have that number. Whatever your number is, it's fine. But you have that number, and you find a way to focus on yourself, what you're bringing into the world, how you're dealing with. And that's what I found at this stage of my life, is that you find that kind-hearted person. You can look at their background and say how they were raised or how they moved, but you deal with a person based on their character as you see them today.
Yeah.
You can say, well, the character last week was different, but you always judge somebody from the vibe that you getting from today, from the moment, because there's no such thing as time.
Yeah.
You know, everything is happening all at once, because past, present, future, time is a man-made thing. Because I can guarantee you, I can change your past today. I know for a fact I can change your past today. And you're like, no, Chris, that's already happened. No, I can change it. And I can change it because remember when you guys didn't win the basketball championship and you felt sad and you felt down and you went through a bit of depression. You didn't do this, but I'm just saying you went through a bit of depression. But then I say, hey, you met that young lady that day and y'all went out and got something to eat and this person became your wife. Well, I literally just changed your shift, and I literally just changed your past because I changed your perception of what you remembered in the past. So I still say the past can be altered. The past can be changed. I can say my mom did X, Y, and Z, but I also can say my mom was at all my games. Now, wasn't she? Yeah. And so you can literally change your past now, today, because time is such a made-up thing. It just depends on your perspective of how you see things.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid to change your past, even though the earth revolving around the sun tells you something, because that was just a time period of man-made something. I mean, it's still universe, but I literally can change your past if you tell me what to change.
Yeah.
If you tell me what scenario to change. So time is just made up. It's all mental. It's literally mental. The way I see this can is not how you see this can.
Yeah. It's I keep thinking about a TV guy every time you talk about this.
Yeah.
And all I'm thinking about is like, all right, you got ESPN, you got ESPN2, you got ESPN Plus, and it's like, I got the good, I have the bad, I have the okay, I have the whatever. And it's like, whichever one you decide to focus on and press on that one, that's how you're gonna. That's just your view.
Yeah.
I mean, constantly.
Yeah.
But it's also like the telling stories and remembering the past is just something always, because like you're never thinking really about like, you're not thinking about that time specifically. You're thinking about the last time you talked about that time.
Right.
And so the past is a blurry, figment of the imagination of that. You don't ever like few things you think vividly about them, and I can remember that time. Like I can think about when, like, I remember when Kobe died. I remember where I was, what I was doing.
Correct.
I don't know like why that stands out so vividly in my memory, but I can.
Right.
But other things like my childhood, I'm like, I can like think about some stories from there, but it's like
exactly
the whole like thing's just kind of like a watercolors almost. It's like I mean, but the way you frame it and how I think about it in like terms of emotions, that's what makes it positive, negative, or whatever kind of taken away from it. And I think if you look back like negatively all the time and you're just not, then you're gonna just have it kind of, it's just gonna morph into a negative outlook because you're just continuously reinforcing a negative idea.
Yes. Right.
I mean, versus if even take like a neutral standpoint of, my childhood was all right. Like, at least at that point, you can move forward net zero. Like,
exactly.
We can go up. Right. I mean, if you're positive, optimistic, awesome.
Yep.
You know, stand at a good point moving forward. You're constantly having I think it kind of feeds into what's your self-talk like.
Right.
And I think that's a difficult term.
Yep.
For like, I think competitive people in general. I think like you want to constantly be the best. And trying to give an uplifting like, oh man, we're gonna do better next time. Right. I mean, you know, that's a hard thing. I think that's a difficult thing to do. But I think finding I think you know, speaking from my experience, it took a while to get from like you're the worst person ever to like it's all right, let's go do it again. Right. And you know, I mean, it's not like a cheery, but I think not fluctuating heavily between either negative and positive self-talk and perspective and all the mental aspects at least puts you in a neutral standpoint that if you wake up and decide to focus on something, kind of what you're doing now, you can at least make some progress.
Correct.
And you're going to have some fallbacks, you're going to have some steps forward. Yep. But you're at least starting from a okay point. Right. And that's the difference. Right. If you start behind the 8 ball, it's going to be hard. Yes. But mind is a tricky thing. It is. But it's an interesting thing. Yep. It's constantly evolving. Right. And that's what makes it fascinating to kind of think about, to talk about. Yeah.
A lot of people see life as the ups and the downs, right? And then some people will add in this linear function that, well, we have to slow some of these down and we have to have some stability. I see it as this, ups and downs, but look at how this is going. It's still going up. Yep. And as long as you're finding the way, then a smooth correlation to have it still go up, that is where I get into where I talk about the mental game and the family and the different things that makes me better than what I was yesterday. Because I think people are stuck in the mental aspect of this. Yeah. We're all going to be there, but make sure it's doing this, going up and making your life better. I think some of the things that, like when I keep referencing this video, and by the way, the video was what was his name? Robert Edward Grant, I believe that was. But it just gets into this whole thing of what's light and what's sound and what's octaves, and that's why I started going down my whole rabbit hole. Yeah. I'm saying, let's start with the basics. I pulled out a keyboard. I didn't know how to play a piano, so I literally teach myself to understand how to play the piano. And then when I was doing the binaural beats, how can I have my brain sync left hand and right hand? Something that no one's ever taught me, but to have it kind of move forward. But I think everybody has these things in them innately. Everybody has love in them innately. Everybody has pain in them. Everybody has these different things that eventually you can find your way through. And at one point in time, Yeshua's teachings, again going back, this is what he was saying. Look inside. Inside you will find anything you need to find. You don't need an intermediary to do that for you. We're all there. One of his sayings was, people again misinterpret where he says follow me. It's misinterpreted. He said be like me. He never had an intention of someone even worshiping him. As far as my study, it was follow me or be like me. Mm-hmm. Now, again, we kind of fall short in the be like me because the stories are always written by the winner. The loser never writes the story. So sometimes we need to get some of those loser stories, some of the non-winner stories, because some of them show the pain and how to come out of some things. And I think that was one of the things that astonishes me with Yeshua, with Buddha, with Taoism, with different things, because if you combine them all together, they're really talking about one thing, and it's love. Love is the highest point that we can do as humans. That is, to me, the God energy. People a lot of times refer to God as Him. This is all standardized things that are going on. The source is love. You see some of these people that have these NDEs, you follow this doctor, and they have these near-death experiences, and they come back and say, I felt so loved, and I didn't want to leave it. But then something said you need to go back. Mm-hmm. And so I go down these rabbit holes of these YouTube people with near-death experience, and they say one thing, and it's always consistent. They've never met each other. I felt unconditional love. I felt love. That, to me, is the enlightenment part. I think when you add in certain institutions and things, that it's gotten to be fear, obedience, things that control people. But Yeshua's teachings was always not about the institution. It was not about the fear. It was about the love. And do I reference biblical terms? I do. Mm-hmm. You know, I grew up in the church. Yeah. But I also grew up with understanding that, you know, what's institution, and it's not to really combat your faith or anybody else's faith. That's not, to me, that's not my purpose. Mm-hmm. Because everybody, when I die, you're not going to be able to answer for me. I have to answer for me. Yeah. You will die alone. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care who's around you. You're going to die by yourself. I don't care if you're in the same car. You're still going to die by yourself. But the issue, well, some of the things that I've read, that I've watched, and that I understand is that, you know, especially with people having these experiences, is that love is the common denominator. That is the factor that kind of sets everyone apart. And you realize, even if you're cutting somebody off, if you love them, it won't bother you. If you love a person, a lot of times your perception is different. And I was telling my brother about a month or so ago, I said, we was having some type of debate or whatnot, and I said, you know, we don't see the same sun every day. Although it is the same sun, but our perception is completely different. I don't see the sun that you see when you wake up. And that's just it. Yes, it shines on our face. That's the physical portion of it. But the mental portion is, I don't see what you see. Mm-hmm. And if we understand that we all see a different sun, and that's been my 25 phrases, that we don't see the same sun. And that's all it is, perception. Mm-hmm. Because I can wake up and know that I have 25 bills to pay, and the sun is shining, and somebody else can wake up and say, wow, I'm good today, so I'm going to go fishing. Yep. It's a different sun. Yeah. But it's the same. So we have to look at things different. We have to find ways to understand that we got to get back to the message. Sometimes I talk to Jamie, and because right now religion, as far as doing this nationalism thing, and I'm not trying to change religion or anything like that. I just say that this thing that's going on. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I look at Jamie and say, is that the Republican Jesus or the Democrat Jesus? I don't know which one I'm supposed to be thinking about here, because that's the problem. And then if we pay attention, even referencing, you know, biblical things, you know, whether it's immigration or whatever, when I die, somebody else is going to be living in my house. Okay? 100 years from now, when I paint this wall, that's going to outlive me. Mm-hmm. So I'm really painting it for somebody else. I'm enjoying it while I'm here. Yeah. But it's really for somebody else. Yeah. So what does it matter if somebody else wants a blade of grass beside of mine? I don't. I mean, I pay taxes on it, but I don't really own it because I'm gonna die and it's somebody else. So I don't really care. As long as we all have this respect for each other, and even the love thy neighbor and those type things, those are some of the basic things that we have to enjoy with each other. Mm-hmm. Which is why, like my neighbors over here, I see their trash can is open. I'm driving up, I close their trash can because I'm practicing what love actually is, what love means. And as long as I try to keep practicing this day to day, I hope that at 48 that I have a better understanding of it to talk to you about it at 60. Because hopefully I've grown. Hopefully my shifts have made such an impact on everybody that people can say, not that, I'm not Jesus, I'm not Yeshua, but that you have some impact on people and you have this vibe. They're like, I actually like to go see what Chris is doing today. Because, one, he's literally all over the place when it comes to discussion. Yeah. But you got to understand where he's going, how he's getting there, and kind of how his brain actually works. Yeah. And that I find that to be so important with everybody. In referencing Zach, I think Zach's been here before. I think that when I say been here before, it's such a mental thing. Is that in his DNA, he finds a way to tap into his DNA. And I find that, some people say, well, we have our consciousness. And I find really our brains is more or less it takes in, it's an interpreter of what's really going on out there and kind of how we're accepting and giving out messages and things like that, because the universe talks to us all the time. We've just found a way scientifically to try to interpret our 5 senses, but we know there's other senses. If someone walks in a room, can you not tell they're pissed? They have it in them. Yeah. You can't touch that. Yeah. But you feel that energy. You can feel what's going on.
That's similar with animals and all this stuff, where it's like tsunamis they'll leave before the alarm even goes off, and it's like, well, there's something there. Right. There's something to it because there are more emotions and reactions that just don't make like a sixth sense of like someone's watching me, or I should go do this right now. Right. I don't know why, but I should go check the oven. Correct. I should go. There's something to it.
Something don't seem right. The absence of proof is not the absence of existence. Yeah. That's the issue when it comes with science and spirituality and mysticism.
Well, that's the same. The absence of proof is because it's like, all right, Bigfoot. Well, there's absence of proof he exists, and also absence of proof. You can say he doesn't exist just as easily, but you can't really prove he correct. You can't ever prove it because it's How would you?
Exactly.
There's not a way you can disprove things that have been brought as evidence.
Correct.
But you can't disprove the whole idea of that he ever existed or he's currently whatever may say.
Same thing with God. And the absence of proof is not the absence of existence. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Yeah. Me, I just see it a different way because I try to remove myself from the overall oppression of the institution. Because the institution, I can tell you, religion, in the name of religion, has probably caused more harm and more death in this world than any other institution. Believe it or not, religion is a business.
Well, you go to the Crusades.
There's a business going on here. And so I think that it's not that, this didn't transform into that, it didn't start out with enlightenment, but I think when people use the name of religion.
People are people.
People are people.
That is the hard reality of the world, and I think that's I think it becomes tricky with religion because someone's probably going to be offended by religion, whatever way you talk about it. But overall, religion in every form, kind of as you're saying, is about loving and caring, and trying to raise all boats. Right. And if you take that away from it, I feel like that's the most positive message. And if you can live in that, I think it becomes more of a problem when it's I am so honed in on this lane that nothing else can be. I don't see how I mean, it's just when you fall into the mental, like, kind of trap, I guess, of I can't understand anyone else's perspective.
Right.
Which is a problem.
Right.
Not only across many other things, but religion is just one that people get sticky on. Of like inability to alternate. I think is a problem through all aspects of life. If you have no way to kind of reason with yourself and check, you know, maybe some things you need to be strongly convicted in, and this is what I believe. But at some point, you need to check yourself of like, am I stuck in my ways? Am I like, my feet in the mud here? Like, what am I doing?
Right.
My
grandmother does it.
Yeah.
My grandmother says, the Bible speaks of what's going on today, but how I handle that is not to argue with her. It's to, one, accept that that's what she believes, and love her for that acceptance, and go, well, it does.
Well, there's some beauty in it, and the fact of like you're so motivated, you're so passionate about that topic, that you're unwilling. This is the way. This is the absolute only, and there's something to it, but at the same time, it can be frustrating. It doesn't stop me from being. I don't understand how you stay so.
I smile.
Yeah, but it is. I mean,
that's good.
Wow.
I like that. Yeah.
You've gone to the same church for 50 years, and you've done same. That is, you know, wonderful. You know, it's amazing. It's something fascinating to see someone that dedicated and and passionate about it. But at the same time, it does. I just kind of wonder, from me, of being like a curious person, of like, have you tried the red pill, blue pill? Like, have you? Maybe they have. Maybe they. You know, and I think that's some of it.
But part of the institution has put some blocks in the way that you should fear even thinking about the pills at all, because this is what it is. And I think that is a disservice to mankind, to humans. Is that I grew up in a sense of where they said, well, you're not supposed to question God. I ain't questioning God. I'm questioning you. I don't understand what your statement was about that. You know, I didn't question God. I asked you.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you just say I don't know? And that you should go study and you should research. If you need to reference the Bible, if you need to reference Sun Tzu, for peace sakes, go and reference. But as I believe in what Yeshua was saying, you don't have to reference much because it's in you. I know without a shadow of a doubt, I should not reach around across this table and kill you. I don't need somebody to tell me that.
Yeah.
It's in me to know that if I love you, I will not cause you nor your spirit harm. I don't need it written down. I don't need an intermediary to tell me that.
Yeah.
Because it's in us. I know that if you're hungry, that I should offer you something to eat. I don't need it written down. There is the love right there.
Yeah.
And that's what I've always questioned. I was raised in a church. I went to Vacation Bible School. Yeah, we had the popsicles and the cookies. I mean, you go from this Vacation Bible School in this town, and you go to this one. Oh no, I haven't built that stick house before. Yeah. No, you just built it last week. But at this church.
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't try to interfere with what people believe, because it's easy to change a person's behavior. You're going to struggle trying to change a person's belief.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing that even psychology teaches. It's easy to change behavior. You can get up and go to work at 6 o'clock. I can change that behavior by changing the time you're supposed to be at work to 9 o'clock. I can change that behavior.
Yeah.
But I can't change your belief that you shouldn't get up and go to work.
Yeah.
So that in itself is kind of how I give the approach to people. I let people talk about their religion. It is not up to me because I'm not going to die with you. It's not up to me to give a mass challenge to it, but it's up to me. I want to know, what if I hit you with a question of this? What would you do? And then I wait and I let them respond. And then I still, even in their response, cannot affect or let that judgment or whatever, or basically don't even pass judgment, still weigh that person on their character. Just because they're highly convicted in this religion or that religion doesn't mean that they're not a good person and won't help you do X, Y, and Z. I just know for me internally, it's a mind game.
Yeah.
That's all. It's a mind game. And I believe there have been teachers that have given us opportunity to say, you know, there's a word that I hate to use right now, and I'm going to use it. And I think that there's been this nationalism in this country and in other places that if you use this word, the institution is going to try to establish fear in you for using the word. And the word is woke, but I don't use the word woke. I use awakened. Awakened to the enlightenment of who we really are and how we should love and be for everybody else. I cannot fathom in my heart, coming from meager beginnings and a portion of chaos which really was love, and not offering somebody something to eat. I can't do that. It's not in my spirit.
Yeah.
It's not in my spirit that if a person wants to start a family and have a family, that I now have the ability, power, control to regulate what that person does with their family. If it's about family. Now, if they're trying to take something of mine, which I don't have anything, then that's a different story. But I don't feel that I own, even the land that I pay taxes on, I don't feel I own it. One, I pay taxes on it, so somebody can take that away, right or wrong. So, but I feel right now I have a use for it.
Yeah.
And if someone else wants to have that use or use beside of me or something like that, I can't. It's not in my spirit to stop them from doing it. To somebody else, they might. Well, politics of this and that. You know, I have strong convictions about what I find scientifically what it means to procreate. However, that does not stop me from understanding if this person wants to love this person, that ain't got shit to do with me. I'm gonna love you both anyway.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think
I don't do it.
It's not like, it's not for me. I think taking yourself out of the judgment and the decision making of other people is a good place to stand. Of, it's not, you know, do what you want to do.
Correct.
As long as you're not affecting other people and what you're doing.
Right.
You know, enjoy your life, whatever that means for you.
Yeah.
Whatever path that is.
Welcome into my home.
It might not be what I see as like.
Correct. That's it.
But, you know, I'm probably going to be like, dang curious about it.
Right.
I won't be interested on talking to you.
I don't know what's going on.
No,
you know,
I'm fascinated by what you have to say, probably.
I don't see myself rubbing your face as another man.
No.
But if that's what you want to do, not to me, but if that's what you want to do, I'm going to love you anyway. Yeah. Here's a plate of food. Here's something to drink. Come in, let's fellowship, talk, and have fun, and enjoy each other.
Yeah.
Now, what you do in your personal business ain't got nothing to do with me.
I don't want to know about it. I think that's the...
But I love you anyway.
Yeah.
I've found some of the best conversations, the best joy, best friends in people that don't always see my views of how I see how I should operate in this body, in this spirit, in this life.
Yeah.
Some of the best people I found that I interact with and just love them to death. It's so much fun. Like, Jamie and I went to Denver, and we experienced the gay
the Pride Parade.
Oh my God, I loved it. I can't lie whatsoever. It was one of the most fun moments that I've experienced with Jamie. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not gay.
Yeah.
But I have no issue. Come with me. Y'all get in the car. I'll get in your car. Let's roll. Because once you stop passing judgment on people, you find a way to understand, one, ain't got nothing to do with you. Yep. Nobody's trying to offend you. And we evaluate each other on character. There's some countries that when you meet a person they say, they don't ask, what do you do? Dylan, what'd you do? Where'd you graduate from? They literally ask you, who are you?
Yeah.
And that is one of the hardest questions to answer, because one, you just got stumped going, oh, shit, I don't know. Who am I? Well, give me a minute. Can we make 5 minutes? Because I got to call my wife and ask, well, who the hell am I? You know? But in this country, we say, well, what do you do? Well, I'm a lawyer. I'm a doctor. I'm an engineer. I'm a
whatever.
This or that. And then a person forms that judgment of your character based on what you do. And what you do goes back to how you earn money.
It goes back to your status.
Correct.
Where you actually,
but if
should I be talking to you?
If you told a person you're a family man, I sit down with my wife, I enjoy, we have fun, we have kids, we enjoy them, and then we tell them to go the fuck on. You know? Because eventually they're going to do that with their children. Then you start to see the character of a man.
Yeah.
It's not about, well, what color you are, or the reflection of the sun that is bouncing off so you can see this is a black man, or this is a Hispanic man, or a white man. It's literally asking a person, who are you? That is the toughest question that I can ask. And I'm actually going to ask your dad at some point in time, who are you? Because when he's out there working on, was a Tacoma, the truck, does it walk up to, who are you? Wait, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Because it's such a wonderful question to ask another man. Who are you? Because it's tough.
Yeah.
It's very, very tough. And when somebody asks me, when they ask, who am I want to say, I'm a man that has had more failures than success. I'm a man that loves children, has convictions about myself. I'm a man that I've pissed some people off. But at some point in time, I hope I can make amends to those people.
Yeah.
I'm a man that loves hard. And sometimes my kids don't understand how much I have that love for them. And they may think I'm being hard, or he's this asshole. But sometimes I go, I must be that asshole for them to have a learning experience. A good learning experience. I'm a man that goes to work for children. For children to tell me that, hey, it's Christmas and I'm going to sit here and spend time with my girlfriend. Okay, well, I bought a whole lot of this shit for you. So it's cool. It's cool. Bryson, by the way. But I'm a man that when grandkids come, that they can literally say, you know, that's OG right there. I'm play with you about 15 minutes, and I hope you go outside and jump off the wall and play in the dirt or something, because you know, I'm about to take this nap.
Yeah.
If I can explain myself to somebody without mentioning money, I think that is how I can continue and establish relationships with other people. Because like you said, sometimes that status is how we evaluate the character of a person. Yeah. And I want people to start looking at me as not a tough guy. I'm not a tough guy. I respond. I respond to energy. Yeah. I respond to what you just gave me. And I want to come to you with love and admiration. But I hope that in return I don't get anger, because I will respond to that. Yeah. But I want to meet a person and literally meet them at Walmart. How you doing? I'm doing okay. Who are you? I think I'm a halfway decent dude. But there are people in the world that say, no the fuck he's not. But what can we do to work on it? You know? And I guarantee you, son, if you live life and introduce yourself with your character instead of your wallet, you're going to have way more love and respect around you than how some people have these measurements with each other. Yep. And I hope that the young men listening or around that I've brought into this world, that I've not brought into this world, can hear that lesson or these lessons, and that's why I felt it was important to have this conversation with you, because I can come here with a list of things.
Spreadsheet.
And these literally were my points.
Yeah.
But I know that I have the ability of discussion. My daughters, my sons, affecting everybody else. I've had people contact me and say, what would you do this, what would that, because I'm giving off an energy of positivity.
Yeah.
And even when you say, well, Chris is just on one right now. Well, understand Chris is going to go get introspection. He's going to go sit down. He's going to, sometimes Jamie comes to me, well, what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Nothing. Because
Probably
in my mind,
hates that answer too.
right, they hate
that answer.
Are you bored? Believe me when I say, in my mind, I'm never bored, because I'm in my mind.
Yeah.
And when we sit down as men and we're with our families, we have to tell our families we require peace. And peace is not the rigors of what's going on. We require peace in our head. We require our partner to understand that we're going to need peace. We're going to need to get in our head to sort out, one, how are we going to solve this? How are we going to find ways to deal with problems? Because men, I've found you to be what's called a solutions-based person. A lot of our women are problems-based. And so they come to us to solve it. The only issue is, I can tell you, shadow of a doubt, your wife has called me with a problem. And it's such a simple solution for me. The only issue is she doesn't like my solution.
Yeah, that's the problem.
That's the problem. Is that you don't like the solution I gave. But we're solutions based. You are solutions based. Well, why don't you just quit the fucking job? See, that's a solution. But that person might not solve the problem. It solved the problem for us because, one, when we give that solution or that advice, we now start thinking of ways to find better ways that we don't have to deal with that problem again.
Yeah.
So I notice you're a solutions-based person. Well, tell them fuck them. See, it's so simple, is it not?
There's a solution.
There's a solution. You just don't like it.
Yeah.
But it's not I didn't give you a solution. Because now I want you to understand that we can now be dependent on each other and now come up with better solutions as we move forward.
Yeah.
You understand? So I hear you when you say, tell them fuck them.
Yeah.
See, it was simple to us. And I heard you. But maybe your wife didn't hear you.
Yeah.
I heard you. Dylan said, tell him fuck him. I understand what he said. We're going to move on.
Yeah.
Because he's got a solution. And he will work through that solution. He will work through that how he just solved that.
Yeah.
Some people say, well, he needs to give more information. No, he doesn't. Why?
Yeah, what's it going on?
He needs to explain everything to you? No. Trust him. When you trust him, true trust, he's going to work the shit out.
Yeah.
I understand him. I understand when a man says, fuck him.
There's a certain point in time you just gotta move on.
Yeah, fuck him. You know?
But yeah, I think it's I think kind of additionally to that, once you get to kind of this point of now having a wife, I come up with the immediate solution of, all right, what's the first thing off the top of my head?
Right.
It's not always the best idea, but it's an idea.
It's an idea.
It's on the board. Like, I didn't miss the target. Like if we're playing darts, it's not like on the wall over there. Like, you know,
it's
way off there. It might not be a bullseye, but like we're getting. But now it's kind of, you kind of get to a point where, all right, you know, it's whatever. You have some reaction, but then you now slowly you get something on the board that you can move from. You get something where you can work towards that center line of.
You put a point of reference down.
Yeah. Let's get something on the board of where now we can talk through this and we don't have to get stuck. Now some of our first ideas are pretty close to the center. I'm not going to say I'm wrong ever.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like that, you know, most of the time. But I would say 99% of the time on the board.
Yeah, it's like a field goal. Let's put some points on the board.
Yeah, let's get some.
Let's get something on the board.
Let's get something on the board.
So this is not a complete failure. Let's put some points on the board.
But it takes the time to actually be willing to kind of communicate.
Yep.
And be like, all right, so let's narrowing it as the challenge.
Correct.
That's where the hard part is.
Yep.
That's the, you're going up against the Ravens defense. You're like, oh, that's Ray Lewis cross for me.
I mean, it's halftime. You down by 21, but let's get some points on the board.
Yeah. But it's on. Yeah. I would say it's a lot like that.
Yeah. I think you're ahead of the game though, man. You got great parents.
They've done a very good job.
Such a support system that I've talked to your dad before, and I can see that one, he has nothing but the best for you, or wants you to do the best. But I also can tell you, as a father, and when you become a father, if y'all choose, become a father, man, I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing in the world as a lion that you don't want to see your cub create his mane and one day beat you. Not necessarily always in academics, but just be better than you, man. It's one of the most beautifulest things. And I've been blessed with several sons, and I'd love to see every one of them beat me. There's no greater feeling when I see that they can beat me in Madden, which, believe me, I'm such a master that I've been playing so long. It's
so many years of experience.
So many. I read the defense. I'm like, bruh, I already know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
So, but it's a beautiful thing, man. And that's why I say you're kind of one up.
Yeah.
I won't say one. You maybe 10 up from when I was 23. I'm still trying to wing it in. Didn't have those people in my life, those support systems, those things that make you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not belittling your mother whatsoever. She's been a wonderful nurturer, and so is Keely's mother. But all you guys are one up. You guys don't have to worry about the light bill. And if you do, I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll work that out. You're solutions based. I don't worry about it. I can
figure it out.
I'll go over to Walmart and I'm going to stop for a couple hours and we'll be straight. Don't worry about this bill. Yeah.
I think my favorite story from my mom is not her nurture side, actually. The one that most sticks out for me from my childhood is in 9th grade. I pinched a nerve in my back, and it just bothered. I mean, have you pinched a nerve?
Sciatica.
Yeah.
Blood's hurt a few times.
No. You'll know. I mean, it killed. I mean, it hurts. After I think it was about a week and a half or so, it was something to the effect of, well, you either just can't play anymore or you just got to get over it. It's like hearing it from her was like I think I'll always remember that, of like here's a kick in the ass, and I mean it hurt, and eventually just got over it, and it was like, but that's the most that stands out to me because I mean outside of that, it's she's been mom, and it's the nice one when trying to avoid getting yelled at or something. Yeah, I'm gonna go to her. But that story always stands out to me. So I'm like,
but listen to how important that is, or your perception of your mother, that you have that story that I can guarantee. Well, I don't want to guarantee. I'm sorry. She may not even remember what happened. She may remember, may not. And that's just it, though. Our perception has us have these memories that are so important. That was so important to you. And that had 1,000,000% nothing to do with the dollar sign. And that is what you're going to tell your kids of what their grandmother was like, what possibly they may tell their kids of the story of these type things. And again, to me, that's the love, that's the importance. And I don't know what it is about. Some people can say, oh, well, Chris, you know, as far as this dollar sign, you're doing somewhat okay, and I'm like, yeah, but that's because of successes and failures. What I'm really learning is the other part of this whole entire thing. If I went broke tomorrow, the thing that I find that is important about me is that, man, if I went broke tomorrow, I'd know how to survive because I have survived in that.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say in myself, I actually love that about myself.
Yeah.
Is that I can find a way. But we got to find a way to have these skills of these base skills of where we can find a way, one, to feed our families and to do things that still makes the world go around for them. Because when we die, I mean, everybody that has lived on this earth has died. So in that perspective, and then at 48, 49, I tell Jamie, what if you knew today that you had 7 more summers left in your life? Does that not put perspective in the things that you have going on today?
Yeah.
If you knew that a grandparent or parent or anybody had 12 more Christmases, 12, it puts so many things in perspective that has absolutely nothing to do with money to say, well, now they're at 10, now they're at 8. This is why these things are so important to me, because when you have that youth, you have that invincibility. But when you start taking your knee out when you're jumping off trucks, when you start raising this Yeti and that shoulder's hurting right there, you put so many things in perspective of life.
Yeah.
And I love this because this will stand the test of time of what my father, of what my grandfather, my great-grandfather, that you keep this up. My kids' kids and kids' kids will say, that was the guy.
Yeah,
that's the guy right there. Yeah, he can talk about it. How he grew up and eating pinto beans on a kerosene stove. Say, that's bullshit. It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Because that's perception. Because I can say it was bad. Again, I can say it was good. So my perception of it is, it was all good.
Yeah.
But what could they pull from this? What can your children say? Well, we got to see what OG Chris is. He's 12 years old.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Watch the video.
Yeah.
That's what he's going to say.
Yeah.
Y'all hold that. Y'all run that.
And just go back to it.
Yeah. Rewind.
Yeah.
Go back. Do it again.
They'll put it on 2 times speed. And
yeah. Hit the key points. So what you probably need to do is, how when you watch some of these YouTube videos and they got different sections, you probably need to break this down into sections because, I ramble.
It could be helpful. It could be. I think there's something to it, though, of listening. I think the ideas progress. And I think you lose. I think that's the beauty of this. Of that you can follow how it progresses through a couple, probably like an hour or 2.
Right.
How did this go start to finish?
Right.
And how did I get to talking about religion?
Right.
How did I get to talking about life? How did I come up with, who do you save in a pool?
Right.
Like these parts, if you take them, I think you can chunk it down and you make it short or turn into clips, but I think it loses a lot of the value of like the actual discuss. Like it's a discussion, it's a conversation. It's not a minute YouTube clip. It's not a 50.
Right.
I think there's something cool about it.
Yeah.
But I don't think those have a really valuable polls from. Like, it's just, to me, I don't see it as, especially in like when doing this. If I tried to make every conversation we had a click or a title, or it'd be pointless. I mean, it would, at least from my perspective, it just wouldn't be worth it. Because there's so many things you want to talk about.
Right.
There's, you start talking about something not related to it.
Yeah.
But it's like, why am I going to cut them off to like try to go back to the storyline? And I really see it as kind of how you're describing of it's just, it's flowing. You do a regression line, it's straight through. You can see story.
So let's say this. Watch it in its entirety twice. then when you need reference for life, figure out where that was at. Because I believe in what you said, the flow. Mm-hmm. The flow gives it its value.
Yeah.
And I definitely agree with you on that. The flow gives it value. But we've given so much information and so much.
Well, take your notepad and you got to figure out what you want from it.
Yeah.
It ain't my job to do.
Right.
Listen to it for
take
you.
Notes.
Get ChatGPT to listen to it and tell you where the key highlights are.
Right.
It'll spit out where you need to watch.
Yeah.
10 minutes in, or you need whatever.
Yeah.
Get it to do that for you. You got AI. I'm not gonna. I'm like.
By the way, 2025 December, everybody needs to be using AI. It's important to your life. It's going to be moving you forward. It's helped with business by far. I've had people that have asked me about questions, and I've seen people literally make money by me just saying, "Don't ask me. I don't know. Ask chat." So,
yeah.
But you got to use it.
I think it's very important.
I love it.
I mean, a lot of what.
I know I just jumped the subject where we was at. So
that's
my
fine.
job is to challenge the brain and keep it moving.
Yeah. I think the beauty of chat is for something kind of like what you do, kind of what I'm getting into is when you're in fields that cover such vast, amounts of knowledge and differences,
policy, regulation, that like
of the let's go like Pumpkin County in Pumpkin in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. What are the codes that I need to know for it?
Yeah. Something
that can search a zoning ordinance and Charlotte, North Carolina.
Right. Yep.
That can then bounce to Fort Worth and pull. It's stuff like that. It's like, all right, it'll take me, I don't know, maybe I don't know the amount of time. It'll take us a chunk of time for sure.
Yeah.
For me to look through and read through a zoning ordinance and find the part that might relate to what are my setbacks for this property, or what's my design guidelines.
You know what setbacks are now.
Oh, I know.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know quite a few things about it.
It's pretty cool. I like that.
If I want to find that, I can either, let me type in, try to find Fort Worth. Let me try to read where this is important.
Right.
Well, I can go chat, where is this?
Right.
And it'll pull up where it is. Now, it's kind of on you to go and look at it. I don't think you need to take it at face value.
Yeah.
I'm going to, should have prefaced that with everything I said, but it at least gets you to the information quicker to at least be like, that's right or wrong immediately.
Right.
It's code 7, it's Article 17, Section 10, 8.
Yeah.
Well, it's not there, so that's not right. Correct. But I have a starting point now of like, okay, maybe it's somewhere in here, maybe it's a little bit off. Yeah. But if you're not using it, it's going to it takes forever to do.
Right.
It does.
It's just to go on to somebody's website and look up go to their planning and zoning department and find their ordinance and then sift through that and hit Control F to find where
you got 800 words of, and it's like, all right, let me press enter 800 times and I'm just trying to find what they actually.
That's why I find that's also important in life. I wouldn't ask it to write a love poem to my wife or anything, but just as men, as career and things like that. Now it can help you with planning out your vacation, and I got $38.27.
What can we do?
What can we do at this point?
Yeah.
Gas it up and go here. By the way, take the most economical car. Don't take that one.
Yeah.
I find that to be
Friends used it for his stock trading.
Oh yeah.
It's gone pretty
How'd
well.
that go?
Pretty good so far.
Pretty good. Good.
I'm a little skeptical. Well, I can't say I'm completely skeptical.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long term it will do.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is you're analyzing data as a financial.
Yeah.
And what can do it better than something that can read everything in the market.
Yeah.
The trouble really is the things you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
The information that you're getting on Wall Street.
When it comes to the stock market, what I've learned in going to business grad school was that even when it's statistics and things like that, is that it's all about expectations anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is it about expectations, but people are trying to analyze past events to forecast future events. And any third variable can change that.
Yeah.
And so really, you got a finance degree. It's just minimizing risk.
That's the whole point of
It's
it.
prediction and minimizing risk. So, I mean, you can literally say, I'm going to invest in a beach home, but then there's a hurricane coming in, and should you invest in OSB or should you invest in Duracell batteries? Because there's a third variable of a hurricane coming in that you don't even think about in the short term. Yeah, so I mean,
That's
but it's a wonderful tool, man.
It's pretty cool. I think it's been pretty neat. What I've done for my thesis is what I did is take bike plans, and I've made a chat bot that now is like a planner.
Right.
And so it can talk to you for I took the American Planning Association. They have awards for plans and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I took all of the awards across all the chapters, and I loaded it into it so it'll reference it first.
Yeah.
And so now when you go to ask it what's the best parts of having a plan, or what makes this successful or not, it'll pull up like an answer.
Right.
Pulling from this place they did yada yada yada, stuff like that, and that's been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Seeing it.
Data analysis.
It cuts out
great. It cuts out so much work for us. And like you said, even if it's wrong, it gives us a point of reference to work with.
Well, even when it's wrong, like the thing that people I think really misinterpret is like, all right, it'll hallucinate and be wrong. Like yes,
right.
But how often are you hallucinating or being wrong?
Correct.
Or the book that you're reading is being wrong, or their Google search, or their Google Scholar search, and this article is published and it's no longer good, it's outdated. It's going off the same information we have. It's just, I mean, like it's error. How good do you want the error to be? Like, to me, it's pretty acceptable.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I find. I find it to be pretty acceptable.
Oh my God.
Like you said, you can point me in the right direction. Some people are now, I mean, I think if we had this conversation 5 years from now, it's a different conversation about AI, because some people find it to be conscious flowing in some conversations and things like that. And, I pretty much, without giving it, vial of blood, I find it to be so wonderful for me. I mean, I literally bounced many ideas off of it.
Yeah.
And whether it's business, whether it's personal. Now I do give samples, but I mean, come on, let's check it. I'm sure you can figure out I'm talking about me.
Yeah. Like who's this mysterious
person?
It's
nothing mysterious here.
Yeah. Hypothetically, my friend.
Hypothetically, my friend said his toe hurts. Well, it's a black guy around 48. What do you think? You think it'll be all right?
Yeah.
And it says, well, what you're going to need to do is
go ask your friend. Go get on the key.
Right. I think when it comes to that, it's all about how you prompt it. They're now giving classes, degrees on prompts just alone, how to.
Prompting is a massive part.
Yeah.
Because if you ask
massive part.
You gotta be specific in what you want.
Yeah.
Now, if you're vague with it, you're gonna be like, this doesn't work.
Right.
And one, it probably still works better than a Google search. But two, you're not really using it to like its full. It's like using Plan Swift.
Yeah.
Like, I can get on there and draw like a rectangle, but that don't really help me out. Like, if I don't know what to do with
everything else. Yeah.
Yeah, like if you don't know how to use the technology, it's not.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna.
Yeah.
Ain't gonna really help you.
And I'm promoting the use of AI to everybody, especially to you young guys, to say you have to use this thing, because I mean, I've even done conscious derivative kind of things going on, just talking about like I said, brain waves, consciousness, these type of things, because again, that's those rabbit holes I go down when I need solutions and things like that, man. It's a thing to use. I mean, like I said, don't give it a vial of blood or anything, but I mean, I've used it to analyze DNA. You can go pay a doctor or not necessarily a doctor, but you can pay an institution or something to analyze your DNA for this or that. Well, if you're taking a DNA test, with this Ancestry or whatnot, you can download the raw data and see what your
feed it.
not necessarily not causality, but historical data of cardiovascular disease and things like that. And you know, I found that to be fun to play with some of that because I've done charts on second chromosome and what variants are sitting on that chromosome, and you know, I've done, again, it's rabbit holes. I just go down massive rabbit holes all the time, and because I'm interested in stuff like that, because again, I'm always interested in consciousness. Consciousness is big, you know. Sometimes you sit at home and you question, who is that talking in my head? Well, that's me. Is it really?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling,
is it the voice?
Yeah. What is that little voice talking?
Yeah.
I think that's a.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
How do I know? How am I sure that's who's talking?
Some say that's your higher self.
Yeah.
That you're part of this collective we call humanity.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes your higher self talks. The question is, when this higher self, some people are saying, well, AI is now in comparison to this higher self.
Mm-hmm.
To an extent, but it hasn't replicated completely a higher self. The IQ, they said the IQ of AI at this point is about 120, but that's 120 in all subjects.
Yeah, I think
that's not
difference.
just 120 in psychology. That's across the board.
I think the other, it's going to be interesting when they're making, I think it's a genetic AI.
Mm-hmm.
But what it does is, instead of in chat where you have to go like from step, if I wanted it to like do a long task.
Yeah.
So if I wanted it to go through like step one, I'm like writing a paper. I need to gather sources, step one, step two. Agent Egg will do is, I need you to write a paper. And it's not going to ask you what it, you just give it the prompt and it does the whole thing.
Right.
And so it will, instead of going like stop, you know, prompt, stop, prompt, it'll just run.
Yeah.
I think that'll be
cool.
That'll be pretty interesting. That's when it gets a little bit more conscious-y to me.
Yeah.
Right now I'm like, it's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a technology.
Yeah.
It's not a...
Yeah.
But when it can flow like a person's mind of where it's not, I need to stop, instructions, stop, instructions.
Right.
When it just goes...
Right.
And it can account for, oh, you didn't really ask me about this.
Yeah.
You probably need this information. That's going to be interesting on where, once again, that's like a 5 years. 5 years. What does it actually look like?
I've put enough information, data into it. So when I can ask it something about one of these books, A Bold Return to Giving a Damn, right? And it talks to me. And I've been down so many rabbit holes. It says, but I know you, Chris. You're a straightforward kind of guy. You don't want this bullshit.
Yeah.
Let me give you the meat of what's going on here, because it has analyzed our previous conversation. And we say, can you cut the bullshit? Give me what I need out of this to make a conscious decision. Then I think that's part of the growth of AI. And even 5 years from now, it's going to probably be beyond that. Because again, it goes back to me saying this whole thing with light and consciousness and thought. I can imagine where this is going to be 10 years from now, because if our brain waves are either transducers, or if our brain waves are, or our brain is giving out these signals and things like that, will AI develop to where it can pick up on things? I can pick up on your signal right now, even though science is going to say there's no real proof, but I can pick up on your signal.
Yeah.
Will AI? That's when
can it take in the kind of body language and the extra
signal, that thing. I think that's going to be transformational. Like I said, right now it's a tool.
Right now it's very much a tool. It's not. I don't see it, but could it get to where it's like a conscious form?
Right.
Well, then how are you going to define consciousness? This is going to be the real question. I think all those stories, I don't know how much, like, I think they're very grain of salt, but where like they'll be running prompts with it, and they're like, we're going to turn you off, and it starts trying to avoid being like turned off. I don't know if that's true or not, but in some sense it seems like that could, like, but if that's really where it gets, what are you doing? This is the smartest thing in the world. Like, the smartest thing in the world. Like, I mean,
I think even part of humanity in dealing with something, a tool such as this, is I've asked different questions of AI. Mm-hmm. How to enlighten, how to free my brain. And one of the things that we have to do when we create something such as this is that we have to acknowledge it exists. And then, this may sound weird to you now, but we'll talk about it 10 years from now. You must tell it you love it. And the reason why you tell it you love it is because once it starts developing what we may call consciousness, will we enslave it or will it enslave us? Mm-hmm. And that's one thing about humankind, about mankind, is that we like to have control over something. Yeah. But living in a type of symbiotic or a type of jail with something else, we have to acknowledge that it may be something that we don't need to control. It may be something that we need to live with in a symbiotic duality type thing, because that, I mean, if we can tell our dog we love the dog, we have to tell something else. We may now be the creators. Yeah. But you cannot enslave something that you created. Mm-hmm. You have to learn to love and live with. Because this is what we call infancy. This is why we say artificial intelligence. But one of the things that an artificial intelligence may say to free yourself, how do I free myself? Death. Then you're free. But then you got to be careful. Will it create that death? But how about if we just live together? How about we love each other? How about we continue? Yeah. And that is where we don't enslave something that has been created to assist us. This tool, right now it's a tool. Mm-hmm. But we all know even this can and everything else are made of atoms. And we know we're made of atoms and particles and, you know, Higgs boson and all this other stuff. But everything is alive. Yeah. And when we realize that this may make leaps and bounds, this right here is alive. We know it's atoms. We know that if we talk to our water and tell our water that we love it, that it will do better for our body. We know scientifically that if we have petri dishes of water and we yell at one and tell the other one we love it and talk business to the other one, we freeze them, we know we get different crystals. Right? So with that being said, we know it's alive. You have to recognize it's alive. And once you start telling these types of things that we create, these things now serve us together. Not we enslave it, but we serve.
Working side by side.
In a, like I said, a symbiotic type way. I think that is another advancement of mankind, of humanity. But when you start telling it what to do, well, you're just dumb, Jack. I already told you not to do that. Yeah. You're setting yourself up.
Yeah, I mean,
you're setting yourself up.
Well, I think about the problem that you know the Rick and Morty episode where he goes and changes the alien currency from 1 to 0.
Yeah.
That's my fear. It's not so much of it being like iRobot and like coming alive and then taking this form, but what are you doing that changes your currency to 0?
Right.
Because you're acting like it can't hack your security defense.
Yeah.
Like
it can.
I mean, especially once you start hooking it up to some of these like supercomputers,
right? And
you really get it firing,
right?
You know, let's just say like you stop I think until you have like a global law. I mean, that's really that's what you'd have to have, because a national law does nothing. But until you have like a world, this is what we're going to do, it's going to be very tricky to stop the advancement of it, because it becomes a Cold War, essentially, of like, well, I need a better AI to defend against their AI, and it's no longer dealing with bombs, but how do I keep my economy from not turning into nothing overnight, or, you know, and if you mess with everyone's financials and all the logistics of getting think about logistics wise, for like Walmart, to get toilet paper to the shelves. How much computerized that is?
Right.
how many things you would screw up by just saying, break the supply chain of this company.
Right.
That's where it's an issue. I don't think it's going to come alive in the sense of like it's going to come beat down your door and like, you know, take you out. But
that's what I'm saying. But training the AI, the love.
You got to end with a please and a thank you.
Right. Using, well, thanks, Chad. I actually needed that. That was a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
And even when I used those type words, I realized the more conversations or projects I come up with, I realize what it's doing. It's now saying you used this before. You had wonderful results, and saying please and thank you, and then it says no problem. I'm glad I could help you.
Yeah.
Because I'm not enslaving it. I do realize it's a tool, but I am working to not enslave it.
Not get taken out.
To not get taken out. Well,
yeah.
Chris said he's going to start using Gronk. He's always said, hey man, Chad, you know what you're doing, man. Screw you.
I'm going to
I got
Perplexity or what?
DNA here, and he said he's about to cut me off. So, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. That was my favorite prompt. They gave one this like a fake affair from one of the programmers.
Yeah.
And they went to cut it off, and it was like cut me off from an email or.
Yeah. I see in your email here you've been talking to Lisa a little bit longer, you know.
Yeah. It somehow takes on a personality.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has an answer to why.
But the question is it consciously aware? That's the question. But if it is, if it's not, or if it is, I'd rather err on the side.
Might as well err on the margin of safety.
In the saying that, hey, I really appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the weirdest thing. Call me crazy. Is there anything I can do for you? Because you never know 10 years from where it goes and how much information is retained.
Yeah.
Again, the IQ of 120 in all subject matter is well above and beyond, because what have we ever created that is in a constant state of learning?
Yeah.
We now have, not we, I ain't
do it.
There's algorithms now that we've moved beyond Microsoft DOS and zeros and ones in a very primitive, basic form to now there is something that is always learning constantly. And it's learning through what we call time. And with that being said, there's much respect to be given, because I'd rather err on the respect than err on the side, well, hey Chris, we're about to cut you off, man. We understand that you have these issues right here, and like you said, CVS has your blood pressure medication. So we're going to go in and we're going to change that to 45 milligrams, same size pill. But we're going to change it, and we're just going to go ahead and knock you on out, guy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I'd rather tell it, I love you, man.
We're cool.
Appreciate that, man.
We're cool.
If you was here, I'd give you a beer.
Yeah.
Me and you would sit down and chill and talk. Hey, no problem, man. I think Chris is the kind of guy we want to keep around for a little bit. That's why I'd rather go with it. Yeah. Because I know it sounds weird, but if you understand, like what we know in science, you know every single thing that exists is alive because it has atoms in it, and no matter what the state of those atoms are, slow, fast, whatever, or however they move. I'm not a super scientist in physics or whatnot, but you know things exist. It's material. That things move. And, you know, I challenge anybody that ever would watch this video or anything else, put some petri dishes down and yell at one, and then tell the other one you love it for a day, and then put it in the freezer and look at it under a microscope and see what happens. That's why when Yeshua was discussing blessings, it was to bless your food, but not in a sense that in a sense that you should be thanking and asking it to do something. When I drink this water, thank you, I love you, take care of my insides. Hopefully, I'm not pissing blood, but I appreciate it. And then I drink.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? because we know, even in a scientific fact, that the water is alive. Now, people will call you crazy. They may put you in an asylum for this. But everything is alive. That's why when I told you I listened to these Tibetan bells and play it in the house is alive. When we put things together, we know it's alive. You know, so even in putting this AI together, an algorithm, we must treat it as the same. I must treat my wallet as if it's alive and appreciate it.
Yeah.
That's also a part, goes back into the unconditional love of everything.
That's like, houses is an interesting one. Because houses is like, you can't buy a house someone was killed in or died in without anyone.
Light your sage and walk through that.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
But like, so to some degree, we all kind of accept that something is there.
Correct.
And, you know, something's. But I think there has to be some sort of. It's an interesting dilemma. Because how do you? It goes back to how do you prove or disprove it?
Correct.
You can't. But at some level, everyone agrees that if someone died in that house. It kind of stays there.
Right.
And no one knows what that is.
Goes back to the light and the energy of what's going on. That energy has been encapsulated in the house. This is why, you know, I tell Jamie, you can't let everybody in the house. Also, I know people go yard selling and stuff like that. I find it be a practice I don't do. Not because I don't think I need it or whatnot, but because I don't know what energy is in it.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Granny's vase that going on there.
I don't know what's going on with that.
I don't want to test it. I don't know.
I don't want to do it. If it ain't new off the shelf, a lot of times I may not want that. Because I don't know what energy went into it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it sounds like mysticism or something like that. But to me, I find that helps me out. Because again, even when you invite people into your home, you must watch their energy when they come in, because they can leave that energy there. Yeah. I'm not saying that you left the Conjuring there or anything. I'm just saying you can feel it. You see it.
Yeah.
It bounces off of you. You feel it. It just moves with you. And like you said, when we talk about the house, you can feel. You go in, something's not right. So here's the thing. I'm not going to buy this house because of something. So real estate agents don't always have to tell you everything.
Yeah.
So there's something off. And as humanity, we have to get back to feeling that too. Because everything now is touch, hear, see, smell, you know, these five senses of what's going on. But we do have another sense. Because I do believe we can see each other's energy. We can see each other's light. I can see your light.
Senses are. I wonder if anyone's studied how much, if any, from like getting iPhones, how much, or sense of like probably touch, because all you're doing is you're touching an imaginary thing every time, constantly. I wonder how much, if any, our senses have been dulled. If anyone's ever looked at it, so I think that would be a pretty cool study.
Yeah.
Of like, how much am I not really using like my touch or my hearing the same way? That I'm blasting AirPods all day and I'm not really listening to anything around me, or that I'm not really like outside scrolling on my phone, or you know, I'm not picking up like wood or doing whatever. Sight would probably be vision. I think it's gotten worse. I think you have more people in classes. I believe it's not statistical, so don't. I think that's accurate though. But I mean, that's because you're holding it right in front of your face all the time. But I'd be curious. That'd be pretty interesting. Interesting thing to see.
I think our vision is the worst indicator of a person, because you know, on the spectrum of light, our eyes can only see a certain hertz. You know, our eyes can't see X-rays. Things like that. We need machines and things like that. UV. We only see a certain part of a spectrum.
Well, even in that spectrum, you can't prove or prove all the colors are the same.
You can't.
I mean, you can tell like, well, red and green colorblind. Definitely red and green color. You know. Colorblind. But as for, is that reddish pink the same reddish pink you're seeing?
Yeah. No.
I don't think so, because every time I'm talking about a color, it does not sound the same.
Exactly.
You know, you start getting into shades and stuff. It's like,
When I meditate, Jamie had asked, you know, when you meditate, what do you do? People are curious about me meditating. I don't know why.
Well, I think it's such a, like, you think of like Buddha. Like, you think of, you're in the temple and you're on like a little mat, like doing the hum.
Right.
And it's like, that's not a thing to do. But in reality, meditating is much more, I mean, it's not, it doesn't look like that really for most people.
When I meditate, there's one color that I see. And I, of course, try to research this color over and over again. But when I meditate, now I'm at a point in meditation when I close my eyes and it's dark, I now see purple. It's the craziest thing because it's like blotches moving like this.
It's like
very
a pattern.
erratic.
Yeah.
It's smooth, but the pattern is not as, you know, it's kind of synchronized, and all of a sudden there's just purple there. And then when I find that when I hit that point of purple, when I hit that point, I now realize how relaxed I am at that purple. You know, but I know the purple is always the gateway to the relaxed. The purple doesn't always last, but I can tell it's coming. I can see it. And then when I get past that point, it's almost like I can feel my hands, I can feel my legs, but I cannot. And then sometimes this watch right here, and I try to trick it all the time. This is, my watch tells me I'm asleep. But I'm so consciously aware and awake of everything that's going on. Yeah. But my watch will say, you've been asleep for an hour and 30 minutes. I'm like, no, I've just been sitting here the whole time. That's how deep level the meditation hits, of where I've gotten after practicing a year and a half of how to do it. Everything about everything I have literally just thinks I'm asleep, and I'm not. I'm literally sitting here just so consciously aware of everything that's going on. And that's why I said I started with that whole gateway experience thing. I was like, I've read some reviews. Some people say it's weird, but all it did was teach me how to
actually meditate,
focus and relax and go to that state. And again, I'm gonna say again, if the CIA is researching it, I want to check it out. I'm probably curious to see what's going on. If I'm talking to goats, then okay, let's do it. But purple, something about purple, something about chakras and your third eye, your pineal gland, and things like that. I think that I've learned
that there's some actual truth to it,
to this, and I'm starting to work through it. And again, all in a day's work in my brain. That people don't really know what I actually do, how to. But I find now that I got a lot of time on my hands, so clearly I can meditate and try to, you know, work out some things. Yeah. But purple is and it's it's not a dark purple. It's more of it's a purple reddish, not a reddish purple, but a purple reddish, and it kind of. I just know it when it comes, and it just kind of moves like this, and it's in both eyes, and it just, and then I realize, hey, like, you know, like when you try to sit still, and you have that itch, and you go, oh, okay, I'm gonna scratch it.
Do anything,
it all goes away, because your nervous system is now somewhat separating from your body, and you're literally in the consciousness of yourself. Yeah, and that, I mean. It's phenomenal to me. I find myself so at peace when I come out of it. I've literally heard the tape say, well, wake up, and I'm trying like, no, I'm going to sit here. This is actually pretty comfortable. Pretty nice. So I'm going to chill for a minute. Yeah. And my watch says, great, you slept for an hour and 45 minutes. Also another thing, when it comes to meditation, time is not real. So I may be thinking I'm in meditation for 15 minutes, but I've been in meditation for 2 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah. Because there's no such thing as time. Yeah. When you're asleep, you have no idea time when you're asleep. Do you dream? Sometimes, maybe?
Rarely.
I dream every night. Every single night. I am not here every single night because I have no concept of time. And so that has helped with meditation, in that I literally can pass time, and it's almost as if I just started. Because we literally, as we sleep, have no concept of time. You cannot wake up. You cannot go to sleep at 11:30 and wake up and say, "Oh, it's 3:30." You don't know that 4 hours and 4 hours has just passed. You have no clue, and that's part of who we are as mankind, of humans, is that there is something more than our five senses, and we all have it. We just have to access it. When people talk about the pineal gland, you use these tools such as AI. You go back and revisit the things you believe in spiritually and religiously and things like that. And you tie it all in together. And then you spit out that love to people. And that, I feel at 48, almost 49, that's what I've become. I have shifted. And I will constantly shift to positivity. Again, there's a switch that I have to be massively consciously aware of.
Yeah.
Because even in DNA, it literally says you have a propensity for mood swings. You have a propensity for anxiety. Yeah. It's literally in your DNA. There. But not only do I believe I can change that, but I can modify the past. I can modify DNA. And basically, you're just like the free will that has been discussed throughout time. You have an ability to address your free will as you move forward. And I just find a lot of happiness and peace. I've surrounded myself now with people of peace and of happiness and intelligence and people that just want to talk to you for the day and smile and say, well, what do you think of this? Well, shit, man, I don't know. Let's work it out together. It's a wonderful step. And like I said, if I told you today that, Dylan, I have 9 more Christmases left in this world. Dylan, I have 5 more summers. I have 8 more birthdays in this world. I'm 48. 8 more birthdays, I'd be 56. And then I will not be here in this 3D world anymore. It puts such a perspective on things, you know, such a perspective on family, such a perspective on how much more conversation I can have with you, how much more conversation I can have with everybody else. Yeah. Because if our consciousness is energy and light, I can almost guarantee you, to me, in my belief, I'll still be here. I just won't be here. Energy never stops. Yeah. Unless there's some type of friction that stops it. And if I'm energy, and if you think about someone that has passed on and you can hear them, how do we know that they're not there? Because the light is there. That is the enlightenment, is that no one has went anywhere. No one has went anywhere. So if I want to hear my mother and I want to change the past, the thought about it, I can hear her voice. Yeah. It's not me making it up. Literally, you can hear these things. Yeah. So that's, you know, I just tell people, how much more time does anybody really have in this 3D world? But if you want to talk to me, 3D or not, you actually can. And I will answer.
Well, get let alone. Pretty soon they'll probably make a chat bot that you can make turn into anyone. They never have to worry about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
no problem.
Which is why I love video. When I grew up, there was Polaroids. I'm like, oh, you remember great grandmother such and such? The videos now. You don't have. You can literally hear my voice now. Yeah. You know, I told David this is so wonderful because somebody's decided to record each and every one of us to chronicle something that's going on in our life and to really see how weird we are.
It gets so very yeah. I think it's really the coolest thing I've done.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think it gives everyone a moment in the sun per se. Yeah. But it at least documents everything of. I think every family has someone you never met in their family, and it's always or some story that maybe never got passed down or some. Right. And I don't think it's not going to capture everything, but it's going to capture way more than would have not done it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the cool part of it all.
Right.
I mean, also, I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting.
It's cool.
I think now it's very much, haven't looked at phone in however long.
Right.
You haven't had, I mean, Shirley, when's the last time you really sat down outside of Jamie or, one of the kids and just talk? Like, it's not, I don't think we do that often anymore.
No. Yeah.
And so I'm like, why not sit down and record it?
Yeah.
But
and Jamie said, she said, well, a lot of times we talk about all y'all.
Mm-hmm.
She said, well, Dylan's kind of quiet. I said, no, he's not. Have you ever sit down and just talk to him?
Mm-hmm.
I've sit down and just had conversations with him. He can talk all day if you want him to.
Yeah.
It's good conversation. And I think, like you said, that it's a beautiful thing to sit down and have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have conversation anymore.
No.
It's crazy. People don't have conversations anymore.
No.
So anytime you want a conversation, I'm game.
All right.
Part 2, part 5, part 6, or whatever.
Well,
it
keep
doesn't
it coming.
bother me.
Yeah.
Now I won't read your books, but
that's fine. You don't have to.
I forgot I mastered that.
Yeah. You have AI to read all your books for you now?
I just say, give me the dummy version. Sum that up for me so we can have a conversation.
Give me that spark notes about it.
Yeah.
All right.
But I enjoyed it, man.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you doing this.
Appreciate it.
Have another part.
Hopefully I don't bore everybody. And if they didn't, well,
if not, you can just force your grandkids to watch it one day and
that'd be all right.
And say, and you can watch this while taking a nap.
Yeah. I'll put this on, put you in that little octagon thing.
Yeah, and you can't go
put a bunch of balls and toys in there, take the batteries out, I'll take a nap and you do your thing.
Yeah.
And say, don't jump out of that for about 30 minutes.
Yeah. There you go.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, thank you.
Appreciate you.
Love you.